What's up, guys? Welcome back. We're getting ready to move into our final day, day 5 of the Continental Finals, right here on the International Africa Gaming Cup. Of course, brought to you in partnership with the Republic of Benin as well as Nice Cactus, who are joining forces to offer multi territory gaming tournaments to esport players from all over the African continent. So, we've already been seeing our teams just absolutely popping off over the past few days of gameplay. And of course, as we know, today is going to be no different to what we've been seeing come through from these teams so far. And of course, speaking of which, we are going to be taking a quick look at what these teams are fighting for at the end of the day. Of course, we are going to be starting with our prize money there. As we can see, it is going to be $3,500 for that team who takes the pole position. And then, of course, it trickles all the way down to where the team sitting in 11th to 16th place will be walking away with $150 each. And we've been seeing them step up time and time and time again. Of course, they are no strangers to our map rotation either. As we can see, of course, we're going for the tried and tested Erangel, Miramar, Sanhok, and then, of course, right back onto Erangel once again. And of course, now speaking about our map lineup, we've got to take a look at what the point situation is for these teams as well, as we are going to be moving on through on towards that. We can see the players there from 1 million currently holding on to that pole position with 216 points and 3 winner chicken dinners. One round also sitting on 3 chicken dinners, but they only have 177 points to their name. Of course, one more and SKYROCKETS both sitting on 145 points each with a super like copy paste kind of effect coming in with the amount of eliminations they've been able to find, as well as with those placement points. You can see both teams sitting there on 63 and 82 apiece. Slime down in that 5th position, 134 tied up with the players there from Greedy for Kills. Both teams on the exact same amount. And the same could, of course, be said for the players coming through there from Team Lag as well as UMBRA. Now, also, an interesting thing that has come through there for the side of Team UMBRA is that they've now been picked up by another org, and they've now also experienced a name change, right? So we're going to be seeing that
Yeah.
name change come through as well here today. So their new name is going to be Leaders Esports. So if you see us looking at a team that has the LS tag, that is who it is. It is going to be the players there from Umbra who've gone through a little bit of a upgrade there, if we can call it that. Of course, looking on second page is going to be the players there from Virtual Gaming, BBC, RILA Insider, Art of Killing, the Snipers, G3 Temper, the Blackjacks, as well as Darkness. G3 also known as the Desert Flame, the DF that we'll be seeing coming through alongside their names. So several name changes already trickling through from these teams. And of course, now speaking about name changes and trickling that's been happening, we are going to be trickling ourselves into our very first matchup of the day, starting over on towards Erangel. So you can see that flight path starting towards those Nova crates and heading up towards the north, ending right there alongside Savoni. So Dale, this time around, right? I didn't even welcome you in, right? Welcome, Dale. So great to have you here. I got so caught up in everything, in that pre-match. But I mean, it's going to be a pretty exciting day to see what these teams will bring in the last day of gameplay.
Yeah, that's right. I don't mind it at all. Listen, it's not about me. It's about the finals here at the IAGC. Thank you so much for having me, DK, and for everyone that's out there. It's a cold night here in Cape Town, and what better place to be and bring the action. So don't worry about introducing me. We'll be bringing you the action right here on DK Gamecasting. An amazing shift between the log that's been going on. So it's going to be a very interesting night going along. Not only are there name changes, but we're going to see some action from those that is holding down some consistency. DK.
Yeah, and we've been seeing the teams over these past 4 days of play, right? Really progressing with the level of aggression that they bring out
Mhm.
onto the field. I mean, yesterday was already a great step up from what we saw coming through in day 3. So I'm
Oh, yeah.
expecting that kind of trend to continue now, as we can see the zone also appearing up onto the map. Again, this time around, the teams not having anything drastic to try and work with to get themselves situated in towards the zone. Instead, now they can focus on getting themselves through this looting phase, make sure that they've got the adequate weapons that they would prefer to be having, and from that point onwards, then start to implement a few more of the strategies that could actually be working
Yeah.
out quite favorably for them.
That's right. So implementing the strategies, it's more about consistency. Let's see if the guys that are sitting nicely settling, that would be the central team, see if they can bring that same little bit of action timeless gameplay, and obviously holding the positions that they've been holding right now, sitting nice and cozy at the log. But I think it's very contentious. Any mistakes will make some teams that are sitting in 1, 2, and 3 drop. So it's not that cozy. But at least looting, getting that
Mm.
placement, and finding the best place to be. Look at the zone, DK. It's fairly placed, fairly based. So zone shouldn't be a pressure for anyone at this stage of the game.
Yeah, I mean it shouldn't be, but it could, right? We've seen that kind
Yeah,
of dynamic come through from these teams, and I mean, again, this is where I am so happy I'm spectating and I'm not down on the battlefield with these
I
teams
agree.
because I think I would be back in the lobby first every single match just based on what we've been seeing coming from these teams so far.
Yeah, that's right. So look, watch the couple of games from the back end because Victor is ill, just to let the people know out there. He sends his love. But yeah, watching the games from the past couple of nights, it's been extremely contentious, difficult for guys that moved in, and everyone bringing the fire, making nothing easy for anyone. So yeah, it's been really, really difficult, and guys that's holding their place. Look at the top ranking right now that's sitting in 1, 2, and 3. The ones is what I call them.
Mm-hmm.
1 million, one round, one more. I don't know what more we can have, but this is exactly what we've been asking for at tonight's finals. Let's see exactly what they can bring.
Yeah, I did see someone in the chat saying we just need a team now called Another One, right?
Another one. Yeah. Yeah.
We can add them into that fourth position. So we've got another one right there holding on to fourth. So, it's a good play with all the teams having all these ones all over the place. But, at least what's quite exciting to see coming through from them is they're not disappointing with regards to the performances, right? They're making it super
No.
contentious. So it allows us to have a little bit of a play coming through with, just how they've been able to place themselves on the overall rankings.
That's right. You spot on about that one. I was extremely impressed with many of the teams choosing their placements, and it's normally those guys that holds within the log and rankings. What I've also witnessed was amazing clutches that not any, no matter what team you are, was expecting. Some amazing clutches, bringing down some of the most difficult and most dominating teams in the engagement. So most of that action we've seen in the Erangel map. So people can find this their place of home and obviously bring in that contentious battle.
Yeah, yeah. And of course, speaking about the contention, right? Everybody now going to be looking to just get themselves a little bit closer to those more favorable kind of setups moving in towards the zone. For the time being, a lot of players still respecting their kind of starting positions. We can see
Yeah.
the players here from Blackjack also now opting to rotate a little bit further in towards the zone. The players there from the side of UMBRA, aka Leaders Esports, who we were just watching as well. They've, of course, now pulled up in towards that school territory, looking
Yeah.
to get everything situated, get themselves fortified, seeing that it is a smack dab center kind of play in favor of them. So it's going to be interesting to see once these teams really start trickling in towards that zone, where they're going to try and potentially move into and what rotational paths they're going to be following.
Yeah, I think that is kind of predictable because of how the zone has been placed. Remember, placement was everyone's strength. Looking at everyone going to be moving central, it's going to be difficult and challenging. There's no gatekeeping, or not much of that might be happening right now. Too early to say, but we will see a lot of central action. Best place would probably be trying to find the best cover within this part of the zone, and building battles can be the things that we can keep our eye out for. BJE is one of the teams that I was referring to that got in that clutch engagement and came out second best. So I don't think they expected the competition to be as difficult as it's been at this point.
Yep. Yep. I mean, it's been super satisfying, though. I gotta say, in seeing
Oh,
these
hell
teams
yeah.
really making it such a tough play for anybody. You gotta love it, right? Because it keeps
Of
everyone
course.
on their toes. I mean, and we know as soon as we start seeing these teams getting closer and closer to each other, that's really when the pressure starts building, and you can kind of flip a coin, and you might still be wrong as to who will be the team to come out victorious because we've seen third parties come in. We've seen so many different dynamics being utilized
That's
from
it.
these teams. So it results in some super exciting and super unpredictable performances here.
Yeah, so that's exactly what I like to see. It's unpredictable. I flipped a coin on some of the teams and I saw them come second best in those battles. So, but the tactics were amazing. The clutches, some TDM show on a classic map is exactly what has been shown. Good smoke placement, good teamwork is exactly what has also been on display,
Mm.
and a good mature play from most of the guys, especially choosing the best part of the zone.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we've definitely seen a great improvement coming through from that. So, I mean, so far it's really satisfying to see how these teams are evolving and just improving their overall strategies. How they're really making as
Yeah,
much possible use out of what they're able to learn from their opponents here. And I do think that is a very healthy kind of approach to be taking for these teams, right? They're not
yes,
stuck
it is.
in, we're just going to be trying this thing over and over and over, because we know the definition of insanity is, trying the
Uh,
same thing over and over, but expecting a
yeah.
different outcome.
The outcome will be the same if you go into that insanity mode. And that's exactly what evolution is about, is changing your dynamic, changing your approach, using the best strategies you have at hand, and using the guys that you have available, knowing who's your fraggers, how to have them placed, and where to go. IGL communication is also one of the top tiers that we've seen so far in this competition. So yeah, evolution. I love the way that you brought that point across. The guys have evolved, smarter gameplay. They've seen the areas that they've been mixed up on and worked on that, and they actually came to the party.
Oh, yes. They brought their hats, they brought their cups, they brought everything they needed to bring to step into these parties. And now, all they got to do
Yeah.
is now just show us the participation, right? It is now, of course, the players here from UMBRA / Leaders Esports now.
Oh
Shadowin
yeah.
trying to put a
Oh,
few hits across darkness. Up on the hill, you can see Tornado getting ready to kick up a storm, but it's not going to be in time. As Shadowin lasers through with a beautiful hit, just utilizing a great shot from that Scar L. But no, we also did see the rest of the players there, Wasted and Go, now moving up, looking to get themselves situated right on that very front line.
that's right. So they're covering all their bases. They're surrounding the squad right now, with Shadowman battling one half of the team and then switching over and getting a knock on the other member on that squad. So look, good switch, good little bit of rotation, trying to suffocate the squad a little bit more, and that's exactly what they're going to try and bring to the party. LS, Umbra, I think LS is pretty good.
Yeah.
Leaders Esport, no better way to
Mm-hmm.
show your leadership by taking this first step forward. Squad number 7 is in a little bit of trouble. The chase is on, and it shows that using the tactics of the vehicle and each team member having a vehicle of their own can make a big difference in your approach and rotation.
Yeah, it does definitely, it does definitely bring a little bit of an adjustment there on the side as well. But so the players here from Darkness really looking to kind of spread themselves a little bit sooner rather than waiting around to get caught out by anyone surrounding them. But we see
Yeah.
that trend kind of happening across the board, right? So many teams focusing their efforts on instead getting into a good rotation instead of actually getting caught out on the outside there. Speaking about getting caught out on the
Oh,
outside, the players here now from Greedy for Kills are just going to be looking to hold on strong. Omar, who've been really seeing popping off here, is going to be stepping up, looking for a bit of an opportunity here. The rest of the team, Rauf,
yeah.
Hemo, positioned up ahead. They are going to be bleeding out. So this is now that chance for the players from one round to just come in and lock up those confirmations. And with that, they are making a potential play to increase their positioning on the overall rankings.
Yeah, that's right. So G4K in a tough situation right now, in a familiar little bit of area, but they're facing one more who is sitting at least within the top of the log. So not an easy team to face. You have to change your position, try and rotate, or try and seek that placement, or you face them head on. There's a lot of choices. And Omar is also a good aggressive player, but right now, being on the back foot, I think he's solo right now. Um,
Mm.
I think that is maybe the way that he should maybe approach it. Just try and hang in there, see if he can find an opportunity to either move away from this battle and find a better placement for himself.
Yeah, and that's what it's going to come down to, is trying to stay consistent in the movement, right? Trying to
Yeah.
continuously adapt to whatever potential threats could be making their way on through. And now we see a little bit of a more cautious approach coming through, but I mean, the players here from Lag, they're also going to be jumping up
Oh,
at the opportunity as Leaders Esports now pull up just ahead of them, trying to see if they can maybe find a good anchor point to get themselves situated. Black Lost now coming under fire, several hits connecting on through, But
Good
Shadowin
work.
also just hovering around, looking to potentially bring in that quick escape.
There we go. Yeah, they found themselves in a little bit of an open field right now with a little bit of trees covering their place, but not really the best place. Lag got the best place right now and taking almost full advantage of it. But there we go. They're getting away with it. And Lag 1 might have just missed out on an opportunity. I don't know if the squad is going to do a rotation because I think everyone not only is seeking that chicken dinner, they're looking for some of that thirst, that elimination, getting their numbers up, and especially the placement at the final end of it.
Yeah, and we know that is kind of what the focus needs to be on, right? These teams are going to
Yeah.
continuously look to find any potential improvements they can make. And now the players here from Slime also turning their efforts a little bit more on towards the teams situated alongside them. But again, looking at the available options they've got with regards to those rotations, not a lot of that really accessible at the time being, seeing that we've got such
Not
a
now.
large number of teams being positioned on this edge of the zone. And of course, now that next phase has taken a pretty aggressive swing, moving all the
Wow.
way over towards that western side. So it is going to hamper these rotations somewhat.
Oh, that's right. And we've seen this happen in a couple of games so far that the zonal shift changes everyone's strategies, thinking that they can find themselves nice, cozy in the central, at least towards school and Rozak area. And then it shifts, introducing a lot more water. And we've seen how many eliminations we've found when guys do not take bridges. They're using the water, and to lose your place right there in the water is not really where you want to find yourself. Slime 4KT sitting nice and cozy in 5th position. But not that far away is the G4K guys. So let's see exactly what they can bring to the party. What is the rotation? What is the step they're going to take? And see if they can surprise us. Try and get out of that third party battle they'll try and settle themselves with.
Yeah, well, we're also always open for a few of those surprises to come straight on through as we now quickly take a look at the players here from Lagstill. Now trying to reach across. We got the players there from the Snipers also positioned down on towards that southern position. A few eliminations actually making their way through in the feed as we saw the players from SKYROCKETS also now getting a few hits towards the players from, I believe that was Art of Killing. But a very, very challenging position indeed. Of course, the players here from Art of Killing now trying to rotate away from the edge of zone. We still see Zeke there from RILA Insider off in the distance. But so for now, for the time being, it is a little bit of a waiting game. But the players here from the Art of Killing can't really afford to waste too much time waiting for a player to decide whether or not they want to rotate out of their current position.
No, they can't. I don't think this is the right time or place to mess around with because it's going to make things extremely challenging for them. I see that they're kind of doing a rotation, moving deeper within the blue zone, taking the bridge approach, probably going to go a little bit wide. So, it's kind of difficult. But look, whoa, brilliant. Some fast and furious moves coming in here for the AOK squad right now. Starboy getting themselves out of the water. Let's see if he can go head to head with the player right in front of him.
I mean, it's going to be a pretty tough one, right? Savage holding on to that high ground position. The rest of the players there from Skyrocket also now having themselves centered more in towards the zone itself. So we can see over on towards that western side. But blue zone is going to be closing up as Starboy now falls victim to those shots coming through from Savage. But unfortunately, looking at Skull's position, right? Skull does not find himself in much of an improved situation yet. Of course, now that zone has also taken a shift, moving down towards that southern side, right towards the waterway. And this is where this kind of angling could actually be quite favorable, particularly now for the players there from Darkness, seeing that they are one of the first teams to be relatively close to that center setup.
Yeah, that's right. So they found themselves in the best part of the zone right now. All they need to do is find a place with probably a little bit of compound that will be found within that central zone, trying to move away from the reach line areas, move away from the higher ground approaches from the other squads that will be coming in, at least from the northwestern side. So favorably sitting in a good spot for now, but let's see how long that lasts.
Yeah, also a good spot is, of course, then occupied here by the players coming through from Virtual Gaming as they're now trying to just hold on to a little bit more of that northwestern kind of setup coming in. A good anticipation, at least here, from Virtual, right? Moving into one of the only compounds still remaining in the zone. You can see the players here from Snipers as well as Lag also holding on to a few potential compounds, but once that zone starts closing up, they are not secured within the zone. So they will initially, or essentially rather, have to look to rotate away from that. Meanwhile, there's going to be the players here from 1 million now looking to come through with a few of those hits, just swinging on down as everyone's starting to kind of try and rotate themselves back into the safety of the zone. But we see several teams now just hammering away with these hits. Darkness also now taking aim right onto the snipers.
That's right. So snipers sitting in the little bit of placement within the compound. Darkness not playing around this time. They need to get up on that log. So they're going to be taking on battles nice and early in game number 1. See if they can get their numbers up so they can shift up in their placement. So yeah, finding themselves in a good place as well. Good position, nice cover. What better place to be at this stage of the game? I see team number 11, SKYROCKETS on the outside. One of my favorite teams at this point, watching the action that they bring. So I'm rather impressed with them. I would love to see exactly how they hold this place. As we're looking at Storm from Slime right now, DK, trying to get a better placement for himself.
I mean, this is such a challenging position to be caught in, as we can see now. Storm trying to see if they can maybe smoke it up before rotating a little bit further forward, but those shots now continuing to fly on through. So this is happening on the eastern side. The western side is where we see the players there from the SKYROCKETS also looking to bring in a little bit of a more favorable kind of rotation to move up ahead. Meanwhile, the players here from Virtual still holding onto their compound, not going to be budging just yet. Several teams still having to try and scram themselves into what is, maybe what we could call a zone, but there's not a lot of options. I mean, looking at Kratos even, very limited options, right? You can't really move. Looking at just how many players we've got right there, and it is going to be your force to pick up that trade with a beautiful nade getting sent out. Up comes the players here from Slime, also moving right out into the open. Gets a quick trade onto Buden, but Six God steps up to just lock in that elimination.
Yes, and finding himself in a little bit of an open pitch. A nice shuffle, sending out that spray, but getting second place right now in that battle. So yeah, that's it for him. We have Sniper doing a little bit of rotation, trying to find some high ground. But look at the amount of players that are shuffled on that eastern side. It's going to make things a little difficult for everyone that's coming in. So expect to see those battles. Expect to see some action. That's exactly what we're going to see and find out as shots gets fired off on the other side of the zone.
Oh, I mean, Lag and Snipers now getting into a little bit of a fight there, as we can see, of course. But the action not going to be stopping on this western side either, as we see the players there from Blackjack now taking a few hits. But with that, we do see more confirmations, of course, finding their way on in. Down to 9 teams we go. Only 27 players left to try and fight it out for that winner chicken dinner. And again, it's going to be a super challenging position to try and kind of hold on to, right? You can see even the players here from SKYROCKETS looking to push it on this western front, but just so many teams kind of creating those barriers for them to try and push through to get themselves situated. And I mean, a very similar situation happening over on towards the eastern side. Even Citizens, not Citizens, every time I see Citizen X, I call them Citizens.
Yeah.
Snipers also finding a very challenging play.
Yeah, so the challenge is it's a roll of a dice right now. So whatever direction you take, you better be prepared to find squads right in front of you. So taking things cautiously might be the best thing if that's what your strategy is, trying to get some placement. As we see some shots coming in from the sniper squad right there, Citizen X. So before he makes a move and does any rotation, he sends some shots off to hold the team at bay.
Yeah,
so yeah,
also
DK, so it's difficult. It's difficult for anyone to do a rotation because just around the corner there's another squad waiting for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's like one of those catch-22s on a nearly consistent basis, right? You got to be so careful with how you look to play this one. But now I'm curious to see, of course, whether or not Shoba is actually going to be able to lock that head in. We also see Omar right here out on the front line, cooking up those nades, sending them across. Savage picking up a quick hit there, but of course getting traded down as well. But now we see a lot of attention, a lot of pressure being brought in towards this more southern section of the zone here. Snipers still now going to be turning their attentions onto the waterway. We've got Weiss there from Greedy for Kills. Sorry, that's Omar looking to push on through. Narato comes in with a beautiful quick hit, and with that locks it up. Off they go. Omar looking to bring in the aggression, but they also now get traded down. It's up to Becca. Super low quickly managing to patch up a few of those wounds, but up comes the rush, and it will not work out, as it is a beautiful connection time and time again, just lasering on through. Down to 6 teams we go.
Yeah, look at that. Everything changed. Almost double figures in a minute. Everything has changed. We're down to the single figures with 6 teams remaining. The action is popping off. This is exactly what I expected from a final within the first game of Irangle. Teams thought that they found themselves nice situated within a position until they came and met other squads coming in, moving. And this is what I was talking about. Finding yourselves on the other side of the H2O, of the water, is going to put yourself in the back foot and create a big disadvantage for yourself, as one more overkill is still holding the fort, trying to see if he can move in with a rotation and send a nice spray to the squad on the other side.
Oh, but that is none other than 1 million off in the distance. So let's see whether or not Overkill will be able to make any of those shots connect, as they are trying to get it on in. But it's such a range, right? And I mean, it's going to be super, super challenging. We do see that knock on towards Scary Boy. But now Jamaica also getting knocked on down as those utilities are getting sent back and forth once more. And the pressure just going to be building and building as the teams are now looking to kind of cram themselves into this next bit of the phase. But of course, you know, it is still a super challenging position to try and play. And of course, we're going to be taking a quick look to see what that zone position is. One more. Now looking to push in from the northwest, the northeast rather, taking several hits. And that, of course, is coming in from 1 million and a virtual. As they do succeed to try and push on in. Now, snipers trying to come in from that southern side, turning their attention even more so now on towards the players here from Darkness.
That's right. So this is where experience comes in, finding yourself on the other side of the ridgeline with some cover, using things as a form of priority, using one of your members as the nades comes in, well cooked, but doesn't take full advantage of it, as Naruto just gets his other team member up. I don't know which way this is going to go. I'm extremely excited. My anxiety is going crazy. Look at that. We have 31 sending a nice spray. Could get a squad, and it does exactly that. Well played to Darkness.
Wow, I mean, Farouk just coming out of nowhere with such a beautiful clutch, just lining up those hits one after the other. I mean, the players, I mean, like, what goes through your head when a push like that comes in? As you know, there's nothing you can do. We saw a very similar play happening just yesterday. So that is definitely a trend that we see starting to build here as the teams are coming in with these absolutely insane clutches. That is, of course, how the players from Blackjack got taken out yesterday over on towards Miramar with a very similar spray down like we saw just coming in from Farouk.
Yeah, that's right. It doesn't matter. You cannot blame your team member. No one can expect, especially when someone clutches like that and puts you under pressure. One player taking on the rest of the squad and wipes them in a clutch. So aggressive, so amazing, spectacular play so far. Now that's what I'm talking about, amazing play. So you cannot expect yourself, you cannot blame your team. That's exactly what happens.
Yeah, and now, of course, that zone is going to be taking a little bit of a swing, heading up in favor of the players here from 1 million. Now, this puts them in a really great position because they've already been showing so much aggression and showing the ability to just maintain their angles moving through these phases. But now, they are going to be really put to the test here, right? We still have 7 other players from 3 other teams looking to push in. Everybody's going to be hungry for those eliminations. And it is going to be Matrix now from RILA Insider actually grabbing a great opportunity and picking up a few of those trades onto the players from Darkness. We still see just crammed down on towards that more southern position. But this is where things could still change either which way. It is going to be Matrix now up on that southern edge. So looking to see if they can pick up Farouk. Farouk, we've already saw coming in with some aggressive trades. Now it's going to be the players from Virtual pushing on towards 1 million as well. But so far, 1 million actually landing hit after hit, knock after knock on towards Virtual Gaming.
Oh, yeah, Virtual Gaming in a virtual pursuit, trying to hang in as Senke sends those sprays through and getting them down one by one. That's amazing gameplay. Farouk also coming out, making sure that Matrix never got the red ball sticking in on the other side of reality.
Oh, but now
amazing.
Oh, it was up to Farouk, the final player rather, standing between Darkness and 1 million. And with that, it is going to be the end of the road as 1 million step up with the clutch, picking up those 8 eliminations. The players there from Darkness also coming in with 8 eliminations, but Farouk picking up 5 of those 8. Because you can see the players there from Virtual Gaming up in towards 3rd position with 6. We got RILA Insider holding on to 4th position with only 1. And then, of course, the snipers coming in with 9 eliminations. Zaid picking up
Yeah.
5 eliminations as well. So I think it's going to be a competition between Farouk and Zaid to see which one of
Yeah.
these two players will be our MVP for this very first match. As we can see, taking a quick look at those 6th, 7th, and 8th positions. We can see the players there from One More, as well as SKYROCKETS, and then the Greedy for kills. But, I mean, SKYROCKETS, yes, they took 7th
Oh wow.
position, but at least they were able to pick up those 7 eliminations as well. So a really good play coming in there from them. The same can be said for the players there from Blackjack, taking 9th place, but going out with at least 5 eliminations to their name. At the end of the day, it all adds up, right? You want to see the teams
Yes, it does.
managing to still find those eliminations, regardless of kind of where they end up on the overall standings of the match.
Yeah, that's right. So I guess that the whole play was trying to loot. As you saw, it was a nice progressive play within the third and final zone when the action started picking up. So it's like they were trying to time their strategy, see if they can get some placement, and then bring in that elims one by one, as you saw with the top 3 players right now.
Yeah, our stars of the match. And I mean, those top 3 are down to only 2, as it is Farouk taking our MVP
Oh yeah.
and Best Companion award for this match. And then we got our final hit being landed there by Lazy Boy, being able to step up right at the appropriate moment to lock in a glorious, glorious victory for the team. Well, a glorious play, though, and chicken dinner for the players there from 1 million. Now they're just adding onto the stack that they've already got. As we saw, they already had 3 coming into this day, and now that was their 4th one to drive the point they were trying to make even further. Now, before we get back onto the camera, of course, we can see some pretty impressive numbers right here. We got the health restored there coming in from Farouk, just looking absolutely phenomenal. Good amount of damage being dealt, and of course, some insane distances traveled by our friend there, Lazy Boy. But now, as we head on through, it's curious to see that we see a little bit more. Like have you now changed yourself into an entire room there?
Uh, yeah, surprise, surprise. And you know what? As soon as everything's settled, we're gonna change ourselves in a different room again. We're gonna go back home.
Yeah, no, because I can see the couch and everything there. It looks pretty well set up to to watch PUBG. But
Oh yeah.
a very very exciting start to our very first match of the day. The team's really stepping up and bringing in a lot of aggression alongside their performances there. So that means that there's only going to be even more coming through in our remaining 3 matches here today. Next up, we are going to be heading straight in towards Miramar. So be sure to stay tuned. We'll be back right after the break with our overall standings as well as our second match of the day.
Bye.
What's up, guys? Welcome back. It is time for us to move into our second match of the day. Of course, we're going to be heading straight over into Miramar
Oh
to see
yeah.
what the teams are going to be bringing through. But before we do any of that, we are going to be taking a quick look to see what the standing situation is and where these teams find themselves. Of course, we know 1 million bringing in their fourth winner chicken dinner, sitting on a beautiful 239 points.
Ooh.
With an absolutely insane 147 placement points. I mean, their placement points is more than the total points coming
Yeah.
through for virtual gaming. That is absolutely insane to see. But we've got one round still holding on to second, and now SKYROCKETS actually jumping in
Well done.
ahead of the players there from one more, so bringing a little bit of an upset in on towards the overall standings.
Yeah, so just upsetting some of the guys within the log, but like I said in game number one, Skyrockets is a team that I'm keeping my eyes out for, as 1 million in one round, holding things consistent, but Skyrocket always bringing that action in, and that is exactly what I love to see. But look at this log. If you move further from 3 all the way down to, well, I would even say 8, up for greedy or for kills, they are still contentious battles still up for grabs, so anything can go and switch between these squads. Look at the gap between One More and Skyrockets again. It's going to be playing it out between the two of them as the night goes along.
Yeah, we also did see the players there from Virtual Gaming jumping up as well, just looking to push themselves a little bit further up those overall standings, as we can see them now sitting right there in that fifth position. So a very good position indeed for these teams to be situated, but also then taking a quick look to see what that second page situation is. We can see UMBRA, RILA Insider, BBC, Art of Killing, Snipers, Darkness, G3 Temper, and Blackjack also just holding on still. But I mean, we're still to see any of the teams now sitting on this page, right? Like, for instance, RILA Insider and BBC. Both these teams already have found the opportunity to pick up a winner chicken dinner, right? We want to see that come through now once again. We want to see them make that push to get themselves situated back on towards that first page.
Yeah, that's right. And if you watched over this past couple of years, they might not have gotten all the placements and things right, but their maps is normally in game number 2 within Miramar, and then they try and get that game and thriller like Rilla in game number 3 with Sanhok. So this is where they can take advantages between game number 2 and game number 3 and see if they can actually push up a little bit further in the log and try and gain the advantage of grabbing another winner chicken dinner.
Yeah, and I'm definitely not opposed to that idea coming through. I mean, and we still wanting to see the players there from UMBRA as well as Team Lag stepping up and also picking up those winner chicken dinners, because they've been just moving back and forth between that first and second page, right? They're right there kind of teetering on the very edge between those two pages. But looking at what we've got, especially now on the second page, right? We've already spoken about RILA and Sun and BBC. Both these teams sitting there with a winner chicken dinner. If you take a look back on towards the first page, Team Lag, they're sitting right there, right? They've got greedy for kills, hard on their heels, but we don't see those chicken dinners coming through. So maybe they're experiencing a little bit of lag and they were just waiting to kind of hone it in on the final day of play.
Yeah, that's right. So get your connections, Lag. Come on. We all know what kind of team you are. You can do it. Get that chicken dinner in, and we'll make this picture that we're looking at right now a little better and a little bit more exciting. Look at that, 66.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty insane to see. So looking at the amount of eliminations they've been able to find, right, it is pretty consistent with regards to what we saw coming through there from Virtual Gaming, as well as the players there from One More Esports. But they now need to just push a little bit more and get that in, because even placement point wise, there's not too much of a gap, but we essentially want to see them grab that winner chicken dinner, right? Because it is just killing my OCD, right? I want to see that winner chicken dinner come in for the side of Team Lag. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only thing right there. So we're looking at a gourmet meal all the way from 1 to 6, and then there's a little gap. It looks like a little bit of a toilet break right there with Team Lag just leaving it open space. It would make page number 1 look so much better. Let's see if they can get that chicken dinner as the plane keeps coming in on game number 2. Yeah, Miramar, my favorite map, if you don't know that by now. So yeah, my favorite map, and it looks like a very fair and nice split, going for over Los Leones, San Martin, ending off at La Cabrera.
Yeah, a decent approach coming through here. So I'm already expecting to see a lot of satisfied teams with the reach that they can get from this flight path. So we could be seeing several teams actually now moving down into Chumacera, Ladrillera, Montenuevo, El Pozo.
Oh yeah.
But potentially maybe Cruz del Val, not quite sure about that, but we could
Yeah.
also see several other teams now opting for, Minas Generales, La Bendita, Los Leones, Impala, ay, sound like I speak Spanish, but I
Yeah, you
don't, but
do.
whatever.
I love it
But
when
I'm
you
still
speak foreign, DK. Come on, just bring that all of the time.
macchiato. But I'm still to see someone push all the way up towards that Oasis position, right? That's
Oh,
definitely a
that's rare.
position we don't see a lot of teams really frequenting.
Yeah, not at all. I don't know why, but it's basically subject to choice. And normally trying to play it a little safer, not trying to be too far away from any zonal movement. So I guess it's maybe a safe choice unless you're just trying to do a warm-up game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all up for warm up games, seeing that it's winter and it is frighteningly cold.
Ah.
It's one of those things. A little bit of extra heat can go a long way. But
Oh,
speaking
yeah.
about that, right, we see a beautiful zone there as well now for these teams to utilize, as we do see the players there from SKYROCKETS, Blackjack, as well as another team holding up in the mix there alongside them, and that is of course going to be none other than the players there from One More. So already expecting a very hot and heated play coming through, particularly looking at Los Leones.
That's right. So trying to break the ice here in Cape Town and make things hot is the guys here in the squads in Miramar, and we can expect some nice early action unless the guys try and fall within the water treatment facility, get that looting happening, and try and play out the game and play the field nicely. Because look, for game number one, the zone has been nicely in favor for most of the teams in game number one. Game number two, here at Miramar, we also have a fair and even split, with the zone selecting 90 or at least 80% of the players and squads. So zone isn't really the pressure until it switches and does a hard switch like it did in game number one.
Yeah. So there's definitely that potential for some really challenging plays to still come onto the battlefield here. But for the time being, as we look over on towards One More, they're just going to be going about their business, just exploring their looting options. Overkill, that was a big brain play, already starting to reload, because we know the M249 takes about 5 minutes to finish
Yeah, it
loading
does.
up, right? So you got to be very selective with how you use it, very cautious. But a good call coming in there from Overkill, getting that weapon at the ready before exploring the region further. Because as we can see, we still have SKYROCKETS and the players there from Blackjack also up in the vicinity here. So there could be some great uses for that to still come on through.
Oh yeah, it's one of my favorite weapons, but not when it comes to the reload. So big brain move, nice IQ. Try and get that metal ready as soon as the action comes in. Because I'm sure as the flight path came and as they dropped, they saw SKYROCKETS falling not too far away and within their vicinity or in their neighborhood. So rather be ready, be prepared, try and get as close and courted so that you can face any battle that comes along, especially here in this part of the map. Because fire can come from anywhere at this stage, and you never know. Yeah.
Yeah, even from lightning, right? So that's also a thing. So who knows? It can just appear magically at any point in time. But an interesting position we actually see coming through here now from Savage, right? Savage, right smack dab in between the players there from One More, as well as the players from Blackjack, but actually now moving a little bit closer on towards One More. But the rest of the team instead seems to be a little bit more situated over towards that western side of Los Leones. I'm not quite sure if they are looking to kind of consider a bit of a disengage, looking to get themselves out of this kind of town position. But who knows? I mean, Savage will definitely need to start to look to kind of condense their position up a little bit closer to the rest of the team.
I agree. So I think Savage would be moving a little bit closer to his team. I don't exactly know what the discussion was between them, like none of us does. But he needs to move a little bit closer to them and just try and change that engagement, try and throw a gap as he knows that the other squad will have to move in their direction. So maybe it was a little team discussion, see if we can get some loot as to obviously prepare, but let him move closer would be the best option right now to the rest of his squad.
Yeah, that is going to be the potential play we could be seeing coming through here. But of course, taking a quick look at the zone itself, a lot of the teams that have dropped on those more outlying regions have now started to make their way in towards the zone itself, right? We're still to see the players there from one round push all the way through. The same, of course, can be said for the players coming through from the Greedy for Kills, as well as Snipers and 1 Million. But I've been looking at the kind of strategies coming through from these teams, right? And it does seem like it's on the board for them to come in with a little bit more of a delayed rotation, right?
That's
Even
right.
for instance, the players there from SKYROCKETS, when we look at Sanhok a little bit later on, you're going to be seeing a very delayed rotation from their end as well. So it's all within their kind of bag of tricks that they look to bring onto the field here.
Yeah.
But now they still need to try and kind of, just fine tune that so that it works out beautifully for them. Because I can understand the kind of
Approach.
idea behind
Mm.
the teams taking those delayed rotations, but now they got to find these opportune positions to kind of get themselves situated into.
Yeah, that's right. So the more experienced teams, or I don't like using it at this stage or at this point of the competition itself because everyone's experienced. But if you look, there's a habitual thing or process being taken by the guys doing the more borderline play, zonal play, so that they can try and do a little switch and rotation, trying to stay out of the battle until an opportunity faces them and they can face that one head on. So I'm normally, for myself, I normally do the zonal play, and you can see most of the guys playing that as well. But it's not about me. As we're having a look at Lag right now, sending shots fire over to the squad, nearly getting some hits in there, and trying to get that first little bit of elim onto their name.
Oh, yeah,
Ooh.
A9Q definitely going to be trying to pick up a few of those hits. Already laying down quite a few of those on towards leaders, or, well, the former UMBRA team.
UMBRA.
But let's see. Well, I got to say, that's the name I'm going to miss saying, though. UMBRA. Oh, A9Q getting taken right on down there as Black Loss comes through with a beautiful connection, just picking up such a great hit. But now, as we can see, the rest of the team looking to kind of come in with those assistances, just moving up. We've got a 1-9 right there alongside them. Also looking to pick up a bit of a trade. Meanwhile, there's going to be the players there from Darkness and G3 bumping heads.
Oh, yeah.
As the teams are now starting to kind of close up on towards each other. We did see Flacco also in the feed getting taken right on down. But it is going to be a little bit of that reinforcement now starting to make its way on through. I mean, the players here from the Desert Flame, a.k.a. G3, now rolling up. As you can see, Buden up on the hillside.
Yeah.
Not quite sure where he's going. And I just realized that the camera now decided to give us a little bit of a nope thanks. So let's try and fix that quick. All right, so getting ready to jump straight into these plays once again. The team still, moving up. You can see Buden looking for a little bit of change on the ground there. Might have lost it along the way. Meanwhile, C-Mind positioned a little bit further up ahead, trying to get that res up on towards Flacco. So let's see whether or not they'll be able to drive this one all the way back.
Oh, yeah.
But now, here we go. C-Mine, very cautious. Res coming in. Buden off in the distance. Not quite sure if they're going to be able to reach, but Flacco now getting re-knocked. And now the pressure turns on to, Flacco got raised up, but down he goes again. The confirmation is there. And C-Mind, now the final hopeful for the team here, looking to see if they could fend off any of these advances.
C-Mine not being in the position that he was thinking to be in at this stage of the game, but trying to hold it down. Oh, no, don't kill. Don't kill, ladies and gentlemen. C-Mind, I'm sure, does not have that in mind right now, but it's been sent back to the lobby, and what a beautiful elimination.
Yeah, beautiful elimination indeed. Of course, now it's still going to be the players here from Lag, keeping their focus on the players from UMBRA, a.k.a. the leaders, esports, but no confirmed hits finding their way in just yet. Yeah, not just yet. We're waiting for those final plays to kind of make their way on in, as we can see. So quite a few teams still situated on those outlying regions outside the safe area, but those rotations are starting to come on through. We do have that little bit of a convergence in towards that more center zone, with already the players there from Art of Killing being set up in towards Monte Nuevo. We got BBC also just looking to sneak their own way in, coming in from that northwestern approach. So this is going to be quite the position now, especially for the players from leaders, as we can see them situated nearly smack dab center zone. Of course, Lag being relatively close to them, but not finding the plays on towards them just yet.
Yeah, not just yet. So look, trying to send the battle and some sprays over to them to hold them at bay. Zone is not really the pressure right now, but Lag doesn't want to put themselves, I don't think they should put themselves under so much pressure, but look at the placement that they find them in. They have one of the highest grounds you can find within the map and can take advantage of anyone coming in from the west or the east of this kind of position right now. but sending some shots into someone. I don't know if is there anyone out there, DK?
No, that's a buggy. He's just
Oh.
trying to shoot the buggy, right?
Target
There
practice.
we go.
Oh, wait.
We can, we can see them now. Now that like the focus turns off of the buggy once we see the actual players, come into render distance. But I mean, this is quite the ranged attempt coming through here now from A9Q. So that is kind of a tactic, just trying to kind of suppress that vehicle's potential for later. So, a good approach coming in from Lag, but as we can see, the shots not really connecting up as they would have hoped.
No, not at all, not at all. But look, what a good approach to take if you notice that the teams that use the convoy style, or where they use the caravan, where each player has a vehicle, they normally more dominant within the competition. So trying to get as much vehicles out of the opposition's team or play is the best kind of approach to take. So whether it be vehicles smashing and blowing them up or taking out the tires, that's the best way to do it, especially in Lag's position right now.
Yeah, and in doing so, you are forcing your opponents to retire their vehicle, right? Yeah. They don't have much other options when it comes to that. But now, also, we do see the players here from one more looking to sneak in behind the Art of Killing. They got a potential angle on towards Zilla and Skull up ahead.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure whether or not Jamaica is going to look to push this position. Still, not the most favorable angle, really, for one more to come in from, right? Because they are hugging the edge of this cliff line. They don't have any major hard cover to utilize in comparison to the Art of Killing, who are instead up on the high ground and also within a really good cover.
Perfect observation, that's right. So they're sitting in a good spot right now, but Jamaica and his teammate isn't really in the open gap. So I don't know if they should maybe rotate a little bit more so they can get that hits on the players. That is probably the best approach to take, but they're leaving themselves open to any other team that does a rotation and do a drive-by little action. That is the position that they could find themselves in. So try to be a little bit more cautious about that. It's just a little play on words.
Yeah, I mean, definitely they're going to have to, look to kind of find a good position to pull into. But fortunately for them, there's no one really hanging up behind them aside from the players from 1 million, right? So... But it does seem like 1 million is opting to push as far as they can over on towards that western side instead of just beelining straight in towards the zone, right? So, I mean, one more could actually capitalize off of that potential approach coming through here, as we can see the teams now having to move back on towards the northern side, the zone taking another bit of a swing there. And this would grant them that opportunity to look to bring those resets in. But of course, they need to act quickly because the blue zone is going to start closing up once again now.
Yeah, that's right. And you don't want that to happen, especially if another team is sitting on your tail like it is right now. This blue zone at this point of the game is going to hurt, and it's not exactly a conducive place to find yourself right now. So trying to get yourself a little bit more on the western side into that rotation where there is some good high ground and cover, that's the best place to find yourself, as Kratos and the rest of his squad members doing a rotation, keeping an eye out on the rest of that team number 5 there on the outside.
Yeah, Art of Killing looking to... Yeah, they're just pulling up into their little building there, looking to bring in some form of fortifications, but now it is going to be several shots starting to get sent across in all directions. Greedy for kill now, also just trying to dip, dive, dodge, and duck their way through all these shots continue to come in. We got Virtual holding on their very edge line, and still BBC keeping their eyes absolutely peeled on towards the players there from Art of Killing. So again, a very, very challenging position to try and play here for either team.
Either one of them. Yes, I agree. So it's going to be difficult for anyone to do a rotation. So if a battle was about to happen right now, BBC has full advantage to keep the AOK not okay in that little bit of a compound piece right now. As you look, if we're going to try and predict how that zone might shift, it's going to put them on the back foot and in contention to probably lose that battle. But it's too early to say. I'm just saying that they're a little bit on the back foot right now.
Yeah, of course, we can see Pronto here also now trying to get rid of any feet as they're pushing up the hillside, bringing in that climb mode. Well, the terrain not really wanting to allow that just yet, but Pronto is going to persevere and push further forward. As you can see, that blue zone also now starting to close on in. The players there from one round right below them, so I can understand why we see this play coming through here from Pronto. Meanwhile, the players there from Art of Killing are going to be looking to reach across. It is also then RILA Insider picking in with a few of those hits. We're just waiting to see where this next phase is going to be going, and it now stays right here in favor of Slime 4KT, as well as the players there from BBC. So it is going to be a very challenging approach still for all these teams to get themselves a good position to call home, at least for now.
Yeah, for now. So they're going to find themselves in a battle coming from the high ground as we find the zone shifting in favor for two teams and leaving the other teams to try and come in late. So I've never seen many teams that's sitting on high ground basically lose the battle. That is normally where you find yourself at your strength. As Pronto, we're talking about Slime 4KT, who has proven to be also a difficult team. Probably not in this competition as much, but you know, at this stage of the competition, but will make things difficult, especially for 1 million on the outside.
Yeah, and Greedy for Kills also now getting caught out in the open. We got the players there from Snipers turning their attention onto the Skyrockets as well. So several shots now just getting absolutely lasered away from all directions. So everyone and their friends now starting to pop off, just bringing in hit after hit, spray after spray. And this is the way we like our action, you know. Hot, fresh, and pretty much unstoppable. But of course, we got to jump back and forth to get that right. As you can see, the players here from Darkness now still looking to rotate up in towards the zone, looking for a little bit of that positional opening to find. But again, you know, not a lot of positions available here. As we can see, Darkness now also finding a few stray hits, connecting up with them.
Yeah, that's right. So leaving themselves open, trying to do that zonal shift and try and gain an advantage on the last team that they dealt with, just to get fired on the remaining teams on the inside. So look, it's going to be anyone's game at this point. The last I checked, there was 15 teams remaining at this point of the game. And we're not just talking about any team right now. As the Darkness is trying to find a good position, smoke the area up as much as they can so they do not get that third party hit with the other team on the outside. We also have Caddy Boy just having a little bit of a braai and barbecue, checking this and making sure he doesn't get toasted on his way along for 1 million.
It's PUBG and chill. That's what we see happening right there. I mean, Carry Boy just looking to carry on with the approach that they've been taking so far, as they now come up with a quick little sneak, trying to pick up one more in the exchange. The shots now getting at the ready. Oh, we're going to be seeing a few Volters coming in as well. But the shots now continuing to rain on down. The players here from Slime also picking up a few hits as they turn their attention down onto the Snipers. Oh, Zeus trying to pick it out there, but not managing to get that shot in on time. Unfortunately, having now to retreat a little bit, just backing it up. But let's see whether or not they'll be able to drive it all the way through. The shots now still trying to come in from every which way. As we can see, Zeus getting ready. Well, these repositionings now happening as the teams are just looking for a little bit of that improvement on their current position. Of course, the players there from Darkness also going to be applying a lot of pressure on towards the squad there from Virtual. But it is also then going to be the players from Greedy for Kills looking to get themselves set up in a little bit of that hustle here. As we got them holding up alongside the players here from RILA Insider. And Zeus still adamant on getting those hits in towards the Snipers.
Yeah, that's right. Beautiful. We have Zeus sitting on Mount Olympus right now, sending his pineapple thunderbolts all the way down, but nearly getting taken out by Snipers who's sitting at the bottom. Lag also just on the outside, leaving Snipers in a very precarious situation. Zeus doesn't care, sends off to Lag, and takes out Fantasy at the same time with the other two members on the outside. Now, look, I'm going to go crazy. DK, the action is happening here at Miramar. Staring at the bottom is Zeus, and he's going to send half of Lag's team back to the lobby.
Yeah, I mean, a really, really favorable play coming through here from Zeus. I mean, just capitalizing the living heck out of this high ground possession, as we can see some really favorable shots getting played here in favor of the players from Slime 4KT. The rest of the squad, meanwhile, will be pushing right down into the mouth there of the beast. They're not going to be waiting around at the top like Zeus is, right? Instead, they're going to be rushing forward, looking to get super, super aggressive. Zeus coming in with some nice reinforcements off the top edge. It is going to be Plaza also just to slide on down. And that is what Zeus needs to be super cautious of, because, you know, that could be them if he's not too careful. But now, looking at the advances coming through, right, we can see the players here from BBC also looking to push right up to the team from one round. It is going to be Sunny to get traded on down as those first few hits connect on up. We got RILA Insider looking to still sneak on through, and Zeus not budging, not getting off of his throne just yet.
No, he's taking full advantage of the position that he has right now, which I think is a brilliant choice, as the rest of his squad members laying that bottom ground, doing rotations, and he's just going to do a little bit of the topping finish and try and end things as best as he can. Full advantage. He doesn't have any eliminations on his name right now, but I'm sure with a little bit of rotation, moving out, finding some placement with the rest of his squad, he could get that numbers rising as we go. But he didn't make it easy for any of the squads as they got wiped. Trying to get the rest of Cacao, getting a bit of a Brazilian hairdo right now by Zeus 4KT.
Yeah, just looking to take a little bit off the top, right? That's it. That's all they want to do. Just take a little bit off the top there. As you can see, Zeus now trying to pick up that hit on towards 1-9. Oh, trying to get out in the open, but up comes the connect. Off goes the knock. And that is what they've been trying to achieve. Now, he's just got to try and replicate that, as Pronto is going to bleed out, unfortunately. But Zeus now stepping off of their throne, looking to push a little bit further on towards that zone. Meanwhile, the players here from BBC caught up in quite a bit of a mess. Up in center zone, a very difficult position to be playing, as they can see several teams now starting to surround them here as well, but not quite sure how they're going to try and take this play. We got the players here from 1 million also now looking to play their own vantage point, moving up towards Lag, and the players there from Art of Killing, again looking to just reap in those eliminations, already sitting on 7.
That's right, so 7 eliminations on their name right now. One player of them is down, but it doesn't matter as they take the action. And look at that, Filet in a lot of trouble right now. AOK needs a little bit more art, as we have one of the difficult players right now, Caddy Boy, not taking it easy on them. Gonna keep them at bay. As soon as that smoke dissipates, he's gonna decimate whoever he sees coming. And as he moves in bravely, uncut, sends that spray through, and gets one of the players down from the AOK squad right now. What an amazing push, doing the rush so that they can own this part of the zone.
Yeah, a lot of aggression being shown here by 1 million. I mean, they've already done so much to just solidify their position up in pole position. But they're not going to be sitting back at all, as they now come rushing straight on forward, picking up that first hit on towards Skull. Next one's going to be Master. Down they go now with Manzilla. Let's see whether or not Zilla will be able to hold on, as the players here from 1 million just lay it on super thick. And with that, they get the confirmations, they drive it in, and they push themselves up to 9 eliminations. Meanwhile, the players here from 1 round now getting lit on fire as the action continues to roll on through. Everyone now just trying to kind of evade as much of the carnage as they can possibly manage. But we see a few stragglers actually pulling through into this match as well, right? Because one of the players there, the only player now left for the side of Lag Cacao, just perched up high, just looking at the carnage unfolding down in front of them. But up comes a little bit of a push, a little bit of a movement coming in. It is now still going to be the players here from 1 round trying to deal with the pressure coming through from BBC, as we can see Fala, Kratos, and Nihal looking to full send it. And they want to get control of this compound, but they got to be careful because the zone is sitting a little bit more towards that northeastern side instead of where they're going to find themselves.
That's right, so they kind of at the zonal disadvantage right now, trying to get himself as E-Flex into this battle, but we're talking about BBC right now, doing a rotation on him as E-Flex tries and gets himself out. As we saw the introduction, things are getting very tasty, very smoky, taking advantage and sends play and gets someone down on the other side of BBC. He could get full advantage with his team just on the outside, getting most of the zone. I don't know where the zone is going to decide to go, but if they can get out of this battle where they are, is 1 round right now, looking at Venom, they can get the chicken dinner, but I don't know. It's too early to say. I don't know what to say anymore. That's right.
It's going to be a difficult push to try and lock that in, as we can see BBC now holding on with Kratos and Nihal just up ahead. E-Flex and Venom trying to play their cards properly as they now take aim towards the window. They spot a little bit of an intruder there. As we can see, Lag Cacao now providing us a beautiful off-angle view right on towards that. You can see Kratos now rotating up that back edge. Oh, down goes Nihal. Let's see whether or not the trades will continue to push on through. Venom, E-Flex still holding strong. Kratos now very exposed. Cacao coming with a little bit of an exchange there, not making any connections, but instead turning to try and steal the elimination. But off they go. It is going to be BBC to get taken right on down. Beautiful work coming through there from both Lag and the players there from 1 round. But now both these teams are going up against the final remaining player for the side there of Slime for GT, who will be none other than Storm rather, to try and close up any potential angles they can still find up ahead.
That's right. So bringing up a storm right now, we have Lag on the outside, giving us a brilliant view, doing his little bit of a finger picking, taking full advantage of BBC being on the outside and getting that eliminations to his name, sitting on 3 right now. We have Storm 4KT doing a little bit of a snaky, while Cacao is doing the aerial view, holding a little eye on 1 round right there, who held that down as they're doing a rotation on the outside. Is Storm 4KT going to take full advantage of the opening that he can find as Zone is on the other side? He has a little bit of cover using the drop as cover right now. Or is Cacao going to take full advantage as soon as Storm 4KT leans out his head? Will he do that as we're doing a little bit of a pineapple nade? Is it a good nade? Let's see if he can take full advantage. E-Flex on the outside. Yeah, a lot of his HP taken away right there. Cow just chilling out. Oh my goodness, DK, this is insane. Welcome to Miramar.
Yeah, it's going to be a 1v1v1 now. It is going to be Cacao looking to just push up the edge there, playing on that high ground position. E-Flex now going to get traded on down, and our final 2 players remain. It is none other than Cacao and Storm to face it all for that winner chicken dinner. But this could be quite the favorable play now coming through here for Cacao as Storm is quickly trying to mend that health bar. Both players are sitting up on 75 health each.
Yeah.
But let's see whether it will be in favor of high ground or will it be fastest fingers first. The Storm now looks to kind of even out the battlefield here, looking to push up that hillside, but that puts them at a little bit of a disadvantage here as they could be very exposed. You can see Cacao now keeping their eyes absolutely peeled on that. It is going to be Storm to send out the nade, but it doesn't reach all the way across. And now Cacao looking to see if they can trade it off. Up comes the rush. Oh, Storm now trying to find a good play. And with that, Storm picks it up, locks in the winner chicken dinner. And with that, it is yet another chicken dinner for Slime 4KT to add to their count.
That's right. So what a beautiful ending to a beautiful match right there. Cacao taking his time for Lag on the outside, giving us a beautiful area view. But it was Storm 4KT getting that final elimination for the Slime 4KT squad.
Oh, absolutely beautiful plays across the board. Of course, Slime 4KT finishing up on their 8 eliminations. We got Lag picking up 7. The place there from 1 round, finishing up on 5. BBC coming in with 2 in 4th place. And then, of course, 1 million stepping up to the challenge with 9 eliminations over in 5th position. Of course, SKYROCKETS right there in 6th. We got the players from Arts of Killing over into with 7th. We got the Darkness team picking up 9 eliminations as well, even though they took 8th position. And RILA Insider coming in with 8 to their name, even though they got sent back in 9th place. So a really interesting play coming in from a lot of the teams here. As we can see, it was a little bit of an unfortunate run for Blackjack, greedy for kills, as well as the players there from Leaders Esports, aka UMBRA, as they got sent back empty-handed. The same can, of course, be said there for Desert Flame, aka G3. And then, of course, the players there from Virtual still managing to pick up those 3 eliminations. But taking a quick look at our stars of the match, there's going to be none other than Storm from Slime 4KT to pick up our MVP award there, coming in with those 4 eliminations and 603 damage, as well as a very impressive final hit to close it up. Lazy Boy, however, will be getting our Best Companion award with, some great assists coming in there as well. You know, those 2 revives, just looking to keep the players from 1 million in the running. And that is, of course, how they were able to pick up those 9 eliminations.
Yeah, that's right. So getting those eliminations to their name is amazing. Look at that survival time also from Lazy Boy, 1,321. So look, hanging in there, making sure that nothing was that easy. But Storm 4KT obviously coming out the best and MVP and with a final elimination.
Yeah, now just before we head back onto camera, again, a very impressive play coming through from these teams here. I mean, everybody just stepping up, keeping it as contentious as they could possibly manage. I mean, it was already a little bit of a challenging zone to move in here, looking at these teams and whether or not they could actually get themselves into a little bit more of a favorable kind of setup, moving towards that kind of high-angled plays. We saw the zone moving into those later few phases. Now, this is where we get, to kind of see what the teams are going to be bringing in as we move into our next match, which is going to be heading straight over in towards Sanhok. So going from the desert right into the jungle, adding a lot of that lush vegetation to the mix.
Yeah.
Sorry, I blanked out on myself there completely, but it is going to be exciting run indeed to see what the teams will bring in, as they have a great opportunity to bring in a lot of that CQC action. And of course, speaking of which, we are going to be taking a very quick break to, go plant all the vegetation and to make sure that the teams have actually something to snake their way on through before we head straight over into Sanhok. So stay tuned. After the break, we'll be back with our overall rankings as well to see where the teams sit with regards to those points. So stay tuned and we'll see you guys back in a short few minutes. What's up, guys, and welcome back. We're getting ready to move into our third match on the final day of the International Africa Gaming Cup Global Finals. The teams are really dialing up the aggression here today, but a beautiful chicken dinner being brought in by Slime4KT. Storm stepping up to the plate. He's looking at the chat. Everyone just going like, Storm is absolutely goated. I have to agree. Obviously, that was stated in a little bit of a different way, but that's kind of what it came down to, saying that Storm is an absolute goat. And I have to agree, he is absolutely insane. But we also need to take a bit of a look and see what that point situation is and where these teams currently find themselves before we get into our second to last match of our 5-day continental finals. Of course, looking at that first page, we can see the players there from 1 million now breaking into the century with their eliminations as well, sitting very comfortably on 200 rather, and 54 eliminations to their name. I almost made up an entirely different number there. But of course, the players from one round, 5 points away from joining that 200s club, also right there on the very edge of breaking in with those eliminations and the placements as well. But again, still to see Team Lag stepping up, picking a chicken dinner, right? We want to see that because it is still working on our poor old OCD. But unfortunately, that's not the way it goes. The teams actually have to step up, get a crack at it, and show us how many points rather they'll be able to bring on through and actually lock in that winner chicken dinner. Of course, I was speaking about winner chicken dinners. We still see two of our teams sitting at the top of that second page of the leaderboard with their two chicken dinners there. It is going to be RILA Insider and, of course, the players there from BBC One. Each of them, rather, having a chicken dinner to their name. But we haven't seen a repeat of that come through so far. Of course, also still waiting for the players there from UMBRA, a.k.a. Leaders Esports, to step up and just, grace us with an absolutely insane performance. Who knows? Maybe Sanhok could be the map in which we actually see that happening.
Yeah, that's right. So what an interesting game number 2 was. I mean, the action, you couldn't ask for anything better here at Miramar on the final night of IAGC. So an amazing contest between each one of the players, and what a lovely and amazing spectacular battle we had towards the end, with BBC trying to hold that battle down with one round, but not getting in there, as we had the team member from Lag on the outside, Cacao trying to hold it. Lag was so close, DK, to getting that chicken dinner, but it was snatched away from the GOAT himself, Storm, for Slime4KT. What an amazing finish.
Yeah, I mean, I think if we put Tornado and Storm in the same team, it's going to be a big problem. But of course, speaking about Storm and, and tornadoes and things like that, right? It is time for us to move into our flight path as we are heading straight in towards Sanhok. Again, flight path, Sanhok, not so important. We are going to be waiting, however, to see where that first initial zone is going to be forming up. Yesterday's match over on towards Sanhok brought in a very centered and comfortable start with regards to the zone. But I'm hoping for a bit of a change up here today, right? I'm hoping to see a little bit more of a out there kind of shift with regards to where the zone takes us.
Yeah, that's right. I think yesterday was more of a northern zone approach. So it left a lot of the guys that was more south or southwest in a little bit of a difficult or sticky situation. As you know, that if the zone is more north, the tsunami approach is kind of difficult. So yeah, it will be interesting to see exactly where the zone is going to be. I wonder if it's going to surprise us and try and drop a little bit more south, including Camp Charlie. Oh, look at that. Yeah, including Camp Charlie and Cow. I could have done the zone myself. It kind of makes it open play for everyone. But as you say, it doesn't matter really much of the zone because it's a smaller map. Guys can move approach. But this is the thing about Sanhok. You cannot leave yourself too vulnerable or too open because you will get snuffed or eliminated as things goes along. So trying to keep your eyes open is the best thing to do, especially in a snaky map like Sanhok.
Yeah, I mean, especially when that Snuffalations comes through. I mean, it's really detrimental. But of course, now several teams actually right there in contention, right? We've got Virtual Gaming, Greedy for Kills. We got Blackjack. We've got the players coming through from the side of Darkness. We got the SKYROKETS, all just positioned down on towards that southwestern edge of the zone, and all of them right here in front of us. So, Lakam, really going to be a difficult position to try and play off of, as we can see, right? Whichever way you move, you see a team up ahead, right? So, If the teams could see what we're seeing, I think they would take a completely different approach to their kind of strategies going about their looting phase in this early stage. But, that's going to be what makes it so interesting, as we already see those first few hits coming through there between the players of Greedy for kills and on towards the players there from the Virtual Gaming squad. But up ahead, Virtual Gaming now also turning their attentions on towards Blackjack. So it's a beautiful triangle of doom we have unfolding in front of our eyes.
Yeah, I like the way you said that, the triangle of doom. Oh, Phoenix just gets knocked from the outside, turning his back, thinking he can go and help his team member, but doesn't. But yeah, so we have all these teams in one section of the zone, which is going to make the battle nice and hard as we see the guys approaching and wipes out the squad as BJE holding and winning that battle and making sure that they got this part of the compound. With the other players just on the outside, I think it's squad number 7 right there that's on the outside is Darkness. Not a team to be reckoned with, so they have to be careful, try and play it safe moving forward as BJE. They just about got away with that one.
Yeah, just about, but not 100% just yet, right? They did lose Phoenix in the exchange.
Right.
As you can see, Broly still holding up alongside them here. We got Kronar also then just off in the distance there. Meanwhile, the rest of the team, they've moved on, right? As we can see here, Tornado and Broly, they've now started to move into the city itself, or rather this lovely town that we've got on the edge here. Savage and Go now trying to defend as the squad now applies the pressure on towards them. Farouk also right there up in the window trying to breach on through. Oh, but he missed out the opportunity. That's not going to stop them, though, as Farouk is going to look to try and pursue Savage, potentially looking to drive the aggression up as far as they can manage it. It is going to be Tornado to find that hit onto with Savage, now looking to pick up Becca in the trade, but Becca quick to react, kind of overpowering them with the shots there. And now it's up to Kronar to try and come in, bring in a little bit of that reinforcement. This could maybe be, the confirmation to find its way on in. Becca just on the other side of that door, followed up by Omar, but down goes Omar now. The action continuing to kind of build. It is going to be a very tough play indeed as the SKYROCKETS now make their stand, just dealing the deadly hits up towards Darkness.
Yeah, so the action keeps happening. You're switching from one team to the other. We have Darkness doing a little bit of a strategy, trying to make their footsteps unknown with a little bit of a jump punch. But they're taking full advantage of SKYROCKETS coming in right now with Corona, trying to do a full rotation on the outside, not leaving anything up to chance, trying to get the SKYROCKETS wiped from this map and sent back into the lobby. I don't know if he can do it, but yeah, let's see. There's no harm in trying at all.
Yeah, no harm, no foul, right? So you got to try and still push and apply as much pressure as you can possibly manage. But now it is also going to be a little bit of a risky play on the side of Darkness, right? If the players from SKYROCKETS are able to bring in the res, it's going to put them at an advantage ahead of Darkness here. But the rest of the squad now trying to move in. By the rest of the squad, I mean Broly, as Broly is now joining up on this ground floor. It's going to be Kronar rushing outside. The shots coming in as they duck in and out of the compound. Down goes Broly. Kronar, now the remaining hopeful, does spot the opportunity on towards Omar. Becca now holding strong. Up comes the rush, and that's all you need. One beautiful hit, and the SKYROCKETS sends Darkness down into the abyss.
Yeah, Darkness, my old friend, you have been sent back to the lobby again by the SKYROCKETS. What an amazing rotation. They never won, even though they did a hard push as SKYROCKETS dominated within that little bit of a compound here in the village on Sanhok. So what an amazing elam battle that we just saw there with one of the most aggressive players I've seen, Broly, getting it and sent back to the lobby with his team member.
Yeah, such a beautiful play coming through here. Of course, now Becca just trying to patch everything up. And as we jump over, we can see it is going to be players here from one round. Now starting to take aim on towards snipers. You can spot them out in the water. Naruto and Zaid going for a little bit of a splash. We got Marco also positioned up ahead. But let's see whether or not they'll be able to get a successful push all the way through the water. They need to surface at some point. And they will get spotted as Makari comes in with a great hit on towards them.
Yes, Sniper's not in the position they want to be right now. There is nothing you can do with Makari making it extremely hard for them. I'm sure they're communicating with Marco right now that they are getting shots fired. See if they can cover them so they can get at least to the breach of the ground and move up to higher ground once again. As Makari does that spray. IR Reflex is also just sent down. So he's a bit distracted right now. Notices that Marco has sent one of his players down to the ground crying for help.
Oh, yep. So it is going to be Marco to get taken on down. Naruto still in the drink. It is Citizen X also on the approach. And of course, Zaid rather, just about to join them. They were trying to quickly tend to that unfortunate play going through there for Marco. But as we know, that is just the way it goes, right? There's nothing you can do to really stop the carnage from coming through. Now, it is going to be the opportunity for the snipers to look to potentially continue this engagement now with one round. With Makari pushing up. Let's see whether or not this could be favorable for Zaid. Oh, the hits coming through. Zaid taking a lot of damage here. Not being able to find those shots. Not connecting up just yet. But with that, it is going to be the end for good old Zaid. Naruto now just trying to play it out in the drink. And it is going to be Citizen X now to take a little bit of a swim to try and get themselves out of that less favorable position. Meanwhile, the players here from SKYROCKETS now have even more customers stepping up, wanting a slice of the pie. It is going to be the players here from Blackjack looking to go toe-to-toe with them. As we can see, we've got Reverb, we've got MG, as well as Potato. Now just looking to bake in the aggression.
Yeah. So that's exactly what I was afraid of with SKYROCKETS. There was a cluster of other squads not too far away, but staying within this compound area, within this village on Sanhok, is going to make it difficult as they approach. So now staying within the blue zone, I don't know if they can handle the blue zone battle just as well as the rest of the other squads, like BJE, who's very familiar with doing blue zone assists, blue zone battles, more approaches. So yeah, so I was a little concerned with SKYROCKETS hanging in there a little bit too long, unless they want to take that aggressive approach.
Yeah, it is going to be a very difficult decision, difficult call to be making here, but who's not having a difficult time is going to be Sunny, who is now just trying to deal some devastation down on towards the players here from one more, already picking up that first knock as they were getting rushed, but now the shots connect, and Sunny, being completely isolated from the rest of the squad, has a very unfortunate finish there as they now kind of have to pack their bags and make their way back towards the lobby. It is going to be Falak to get spotted out as well. Kratos right there alongside them. But looking at the position coming through there from the players of Legends, aka UMBRA, off in the distance, it could still be a very favorable push for the players there of UMBRA. So let's see what they're going to be doing. Now, Kratos just trying to bring in a little bit of that, a little bit more of a ranged attempt here.
Yeah, so the range attempt trying to be sent onto the UMBRA squad, and I don't know if you can agree with me, the guys that brought a lot of the competition action is UMBRA, now known as Leaders Esports. So just to not cause any more confusion, but Leaders Esports bringing the action right throughout the competition, not finding that top place or first or second, third, but always bringing that action, as you can see, according to the eliminations. But yeah, Kratos taking the long approach. I don't know if that is exactly going to work for him, as there are two members down right now and a potential third party not too far away.
Yeah, there's a lot of potential for a lot of carnage to come on through, as we can see in the feed. The players there from Blackjack having a little bit of a less favorable run. Flacco, meanwhile, will get spotted right on out. It now turns on to Buden, who's, of course, positioned smack dab center zone. Looking to now just ride out the storm, whatever it could be bringing onto the table. Meanwhile, Kratos is now the final hopeful for the team here. Nihal has been knocked and now gets confirmed on up. So it is all now riding on the shoulders here of Kratos to try and keep up the team's more hopes and dreams moving through into what is left of Sanhok.
Yeah, so this is exactly what I was talking about. I don't know if it's a favorable position, knowing that he has a squad on the other side. He's now a solo player for the rest of the BBC squad. So I don't know if he has a moment to try and shuffle, and move and find some engagement outside. So try and avoid the little bit of action that's being sent his way might be the best approach. Try and get a better position.
Yeah, and of course, now speaking about better positions, it is going to be Trip taking a bit of a trip here on one of the fastest vehicles in PUBG history. A little bit of a, Vespa action. You can see the rest of RILA inside a position up ahead. Meanwhile, the rest of the teams still just are going to be looking to kind of solidify their positions up in towards that zone itself, as well as the players from RILA inside up pull in relatively close to zone, but not there just yet, right? So close. But no cigar. So it's almost there. But again, looking at the positions now coming through from 1 million, right? A very, very big brain approach there from them. They're able to just stay in zone and not really be contested for their position, at least for now. I'm curious to see how that's going to change up once we move into this next phase, and the teams will then start, to have to try and kind of condense their positions in towards that zone.
Yeah, I think most of the teams right now, especially that's sitting in the pole position, sitting on the podium 1, 2, and 3, is taking the smart approach by losing some engagement, trying to win zone, and whoever can be within the vicinity of action, they're going to start picking them off one by one. So look at them sitting comfy as Iron is sitting on the outside of the zone doing the zonal little bit of a lag play. Speaking of lag, is one of the players that's not too far away from them, who I'm thinking that they get the heal on and see if they can get lag one out of this competition.
Yeah, it's only going to be a matter of time. We did see, Trip also bring in a little bit of that lag into the building. I mean, that window's still really not liking them being so close. So I think it's a little bit of a personal space issue, at least between Trip and that window. But I mean, looking at what we've got coming through here for Citizen X and the position there for one round, they're much further away. A lot of that's kind of social distancing coming in here. So I'm curious to see what Citizen X is going to be looking to do from this position, right? It could be a potential vantage point to look to try and capitalize on, but not quite sure if they're going to be able to find this. It's actually straight on towards one round. As we can see, rather, it is going to be Knight who almost gets the angle, but Citizen X just narrowly missing out on that opportunity.
Yeah, he had so many opportunities to take Knight out. Knight, not the player you want to mess around with. But Citizen X witnessed his entire, or the rest of the squad, getting wiped out by one round. So he's going to try and take them head on. Will it work? Soon to tell, but let's see if it's going to work as Knight does a rotation. And that's it for Citizen X.
Yep. End of the road right there ahead of them. And with that, speaking about the end, of course, the players here from RILA Insider are going to be looking to put an end to lag, but it is going to be 1-9 coming through with that M4 on towards Coco. So it is going to be a little bit of a nighty night on that line.
Right.
Trip now. Also now looking to move up, bring in some of those reinforcements. Zeke, of course, on the opposite end. And this could be a beautiful angle to be playing here. But now, this is going to be up towards Zeke and Matrix to try and get these positions kind of honed in and pincer themselves on towards lag.
Yeah, that's right. So they kind of pin zone or kind of put lag in a little bit of a rat trap right now. As you can see, this 1-2 split. Oh, but then Zeke just gets taken out as we're in that conversation. Luckily, Matrix is not too far away, trying to get some cover. I don't know if it's going to work as smoke comes in. But yeah, they had a rat trap for lag to go in, and that advantage has just been taken away from them momentarily. As we look at team number 18 and INS Matrix, just keeping an eye, making sure he can get some elims going while he can get the heal on Zeke.
Yeah, a very, very challenging play, but of course the players there from leaders off in the distance. They want to be the initiators coming into this phase. Also, we do see that lovely rush now being pushed in on towards the western edge of zone. So that is going to be a lot of pressure now coming on for the players there for Greedy for kills, as they now too need to try and kind of keep up with the situation they find themselves in. You can see the players there from Art of Killing right there alongside them, just holding out on the exterior of this building. Not going to be looking to push through just yet. Hemo, Rauf and Omar. That's what happens when you put Hemo and Omar together as one. It becomes a Homar, right?
Omar,
but
yeah.
yes, Homar Simpson. It's not him, I promise. Rauf now going to be trying to cook up a bit of a nade. Spots out the player there, Rick rather, just up ahead. The nade connects up with Master though, and Zilla actually getting traded on down.
Well, okay, so I was just about to say there is an advantage for anyone right now, but as you see, that beautiful cook right now getting the team on the disadvantage, and Rauf trying to hold fort in the zone. He has 3 other team members not too far away. You would think that because they have borderline, they have disadvantage or an advantage, they might not, as things can change, especially we know it's Sanhok. Any nade, any kind of molly coming in can kind of get you in a position and on the back foot for the rest of your squad.
Yeah, and it could also turn this whole situation into a really bad knock-knock joke. But now we can see it is going to be Master looking to break down the barriers there, looking to reach across on towards Rauf. Unfortunately for the players who have Art of Killing, Rauf is, still able to kind of keep themselves out of harm's way. Meanwhile, you can see Sherbo now trying to make a quick dash for it as well. It's going to be A9Q keeping their eyes on the action. We got Trip now also just trying to raid down with the Chaos, but not being able to connect up enough of those hits to make any substantial gains come through from that. Meanwhile, we can see still 13 teams left. Yeah. Matrix now taking the wrong pull as they get sent back. It's going to be the end of the road. Reverb finds that confirmation on towards them. And this is again where the teams are going to be really put to the test, right? We can see Cacao also here from Lag out in the open. We've got A9Q not too far away, but still patiently waiting to see what is going to be coming in from Trip.
That's right. So patience being the key right now, and making sure you have enough bandies and mids so that you can make it through in the blue zone. But I'm thinking that Lag A9Q is waiting for the mistake on Trip side and see if he can actually handle the pressure that's about to come his way.
Yeah, but I don't think that's going to be too much of an advantageous play to be making, as we can see up in the feed and on the map there, the players from Art of Killing running into quite a few problems up ahead. So let's try and jump straight into, well, the Insanity on their front, as we can see Skull now getting traded on down. And of course, Mester getting taken down alongside with them as the players there from Greedy for Kills come through looking for even more eliminations. Now, it is a little bit of a challenging play also coming through here for Sherbo. So you can see him now down in towards Bun, our spawn area. But, yeah, not the easiest position to be playing. I mean, quite a bit of a bold up position they find themselves in.
Yeah, that's right, that's right. So what a position to find yourself in the spawn area of Bun. Which I think is maybe the first time that I see this actually being used when it comes to map and rotation. But look, we find ourselves right now, Sherbo doing a little bit of a sneaky little game, waiting for Blacklist to try and do that little bit of a push. I don't know. UMBRA is aggressive. Where's the rest of the squad members is my question. Here we go, waiting for it. Where's the rest of the squad members to see exactly what rotation they're going to do? But Sherbo might be under more pressure than one would think, because there's other squads coming in.
Yeah, I mean, Sherbo definitely the only one trying to hold it up here. Does take a few of those hits as they now get delivered. And with that, it is going to be Focus to drive it home and pick up that squad wipe. Down to 10 teams we go. So you can see the players here from Storm now trying to play a little bit of a stackety stack, trying to get themselves piled up while we wait to see where this next phase is going to be taking us. Of course, now just centers up a little bit more on towards that more northeastern side, moving up into that kind of no man's land in between all these teams. But a very spread out position coming through here, right? We can see the players from Greedy for Kills, also quite a bit of gap between them. And now Hemo trying to reach up the hill, looking for a few of those hit markers to potentially try and put in a little bit more carnage. But now also the reposition, Omar holding on steadily, not going to be looking to rotate up just yet. Also up comes the players here from one round. It's going to be E-Flex now, just trying to fight it out against that blue zone. But a very, very challenging play. I mean, 10 teams, so that of course means looking at who we have currently available in this phase, that there's several players positioned way off out in the blue zone itself.
That's right. So guys need to make themselves move a little bit closer within the zone. But I think what we're witnessing right now is guys not giving it away. They want to take these battles head on. It's like they have nothing to lose. So let's see who gets out of this one. Because look where they find themselves. The zone moved all the way to no man's land in the open field, exactly where they'll find themselves. So the best thing is to do to push us up in the zone. I don't know. With Storm 4KT sending in some action and getting knocked at the same time. I don't know. DK, the zone needs to be decided right now, and it has. But I think the guys need to make a little bit of a smarter choice. Zeus cooking a nade, and good nade on the rest of the squad on the outside is one more gets knocked and put under pressure. They kind of in the pressure cooker, and that's it for Storm, our danger player or MVP from game number 2. But the rest of the 4KT team is still there, sending a message over to squad number 16 over there, just making sure you are not going to budge as they're holding zone.
Yeah, very, very tough positions indeed. But now as we look on towards the place here from Slime 4KT, they're looking to push it all the way through, holding on towards that more southern approach, right? But we've got BBC Kratos now taking a few hits coming through. And with that, the blue zone kind of just capitalizes on top of the damage already being dealt. The players there from Greedy for Kills also just being positioned up towards that more northern edge of the zone. Could open up a few avenues of play for them. But it is going to take quite a lot of work, as it is now going to be Omar looking to see if they can land those hits on towards Wasted, as the players here from Leaders Esports are looking to hold on to that zone. Meanwhile, Zeus will get traded down in the distance there as well. Let's see, Focus. Oh, reaches in, picks up the hits, but quick retaliation coming through from Omar, not being able to get that knock in. So Focus escaping with close to 0 health.
Hocus Pocus making it just out in time. the lowest HP you'll find right now. But Omar moving with aggressive rotation and push towards the leaders right now. As you know, it's the action that's being brought right now. It's trying to get that cover, but being in the open is Omar as he gets sent down by the one more squad member, Makari. Oh, and Makari just gets dropped by Raouf as the action keeps happening. We are down, wasted, trying to do the snake, trying to get a position on Raouf right now, who's just been cover. Will he take full advantage? Not exactly sure. As leaders is trying to make sure they got cover as Raouf just gets sent back to the lobby.
Oh, and with that, we are down to our final two teams, right? It is going to be Lag up against the players here from Leaders, but lagging behind in that blue zone, trying to bring in those heal strats. We can see A9Q not being too far away, right?
No.
The players there from Leaders, aka UMBRA, just up ahead on the other side of this ridge line, maybe a little bit further away. But either way, they are still within render distance, so it is going to be up to A9Q now to try and make a successful run out in the blue. Oh, signs off, sends out the ban, and with that, it is going to be the end of the match. It is none other than the players from UMBRA stepping up, picking up that winner chicken dinner we've been waiting for, right?
Yeah.
We've been waiting, and then finally
Oh, yeah.
they deliver. So well done, well played. 11 eliminations to their name, so absolutely phenomenal performance coming in there. Of course, the players from Lag, as we can see, signing out in second place, picking up only one elimination. But then we got to look at the players there from Greedy, 4 kills, going to farm, right? Picking up 14 eliminations. Absolutely insane play coming through from Raouf, as we can see those 6 elims on board as well. RILA inside up, then taking 4th place with 2, and then of course 1 round picking up 7 elims all the way down in that 5th position. But Makari coming in with a really good performance there, also finishing strong on those 5 elims. Jamaica also bringing in a phenomenal performance as well with 4 in 7th place. Let's see who else. Oh, Becca also then from the SKYROKKETS, still keeping up in the contention. I just realized that you guys cannot see what I'm seeing. Let's try that again. All right, so let's see if this works now. There we go.
There we go.
So as I said, Jamaica there on 4. We've got a little bit further down. We got the players from SKYROKKETS, of course. Becca there with 4 as well. Potato putting in a really good effort there with those 3 eliminations, getting sent back in 12th place. And then, of course, if we move a little bit further down, we can see, right, that is where those elims really start to drop off. And still some strong efforts being brought in by the teams across the board. But I'm curious to see who our stars of the match will be. And that will be none other than Raouf and Makari. So Makari getting our Best Companion Award and Raouf getting our MVP award there for Greedy, 4 kills. Absolutely phenomenal plays coming in as these teams now just, I mean, like, they were just cracked, right? Stepping out onto what Sanhok. I mean, Dale, that was an absolute crack performance coming through.
Yeah, that's nice. So all the fireworks happening right there on Sanhok. But what more can you expect? These are the finals. It's like they discuss with each other. We're going to go all out, put our cards on the table, and try and bring the action as much as it can. So you can see everyone gave up their positions. They threw everything out there, and they took the risk to go and gun for eliminations. Look at Raouf, for example, getting the MVP. G4K coming in 3rd place and getting double-figure 14 eliminations, including the leaders, UMBRA, coming out there as well with a double figures with 11, 1-1.
Yeah, I mean, but it was a very long-awaited winner chicken dinner coming through there for Leaders, aka UMBRA. So very well deserved. But of course, we are going to be taking a quick break, moving in to our final match of the Continental Finals. I mean, I can't believe we're already there, right? We're on the final match to see where these teams are going to be ending up and how much prize money each will be walking away with. As we know, all 16 teams participating will get a share of that prize money. It's just down to how much they'll be getting. But of course, we are going to be returning right after the break with our overall standings to give you a bit of an idea as to where these teams find themselves. And I cannot wait to see UMBRA on that board with that chicken dinner icon next to their name because, you know, it's been long enough. But of course, that already means we'll see you guys back in a short few minutes. we go. What's up, guys? Welcome back. We're getting ready for the last match of the Continental Finals right here on the International African Gaming Cup. It has been an absolutely crazy ride coming through from these teams. But, of course, we need to take a look and see what the standing situation is for these teams. But before we take a look at that, we need to remind you what these teams are fighting for and why their positions on these overall rankings are so important. Let me just double check that I've got the right one selected before I do that. No, I haven't, but now I do, because here we go. Jumping straight into that. Of course, they are going to be fighting for their share of the prize money, right? Pole position, taking the $3,500. Second place, picking up $1,700. Third place, picking up $1,000. And then it starts to trickle on down. So the the bottom of the second page is worth $300. And the top 2 slots on that second page is worth also then $300 each, right? So there's definitely quite a bit of, I wouldn't say wiggle room, but there's quite a bit for these teams to play for. And of course, now as we take a look at our scores here, we got 1 million sitting on 255 points to place here from one round. Sitting on 208 points with 3 chicken dinners, 1 million sitting on 4. Then of course we got lag, right? Just out there to, just show us what they've got, right? Still lagging behind with the chicken dinners, but at least look at them sitting in third place. That is quite the achievement, right? Looking at the company they are in, right?
Yeah.
The only team without a winner with a chicken dinner. And of course, finally we see Leaders Esports, aka UMBRA, sitting all the way in 7th position, but that long-awaited winner with a chicken dinner coming through for them.
That's right, the well-deserved chicken dinner for Leaders, or as we know them, UMBRA. I think they finally deserve to get that chicken dinner. But sitting 7th on the log, I want to run back and talk about Team Lag coming in there, showing that you do not need a chicken dinner to at least sit within that podium position, 3rd place.
Yeah,
Right?
and
So
they
look at
jumped
that.
up. They jumped up all the way from 6th position, right? From 6th to 3rd. And, they're rubbing shoulders with some pretty impressive teams. So, Lag themselves just proving to us rather that they themselves are also a very impressive team. And I got to say, a very satisfying performance is coming through from these teams so far. But we also got to take a quick look, a quick sneak peek at that second page. We got Virtual Gaming, RILA Insider, as well as the BBC sitting up in that 9th, 10th, and 11th place. So, I mean, if BBC, they want to rake in a little bit more with regards to that prize money, right? There is $150 difference between 11th and 10th place.
Yeah, that's right. So everyone gets fair change at the end of the day, but the difference is where you sit on that log. So if Big Black Crocodile or BBC kind of gets a little bit of a change in game number 4, our ultimate game in the finals, it could make that difference between 150 and 300.
Yeah, it could definitely make quite a bit of a difference. Of course, now speaking about difference, right? We got to split the difference and hop straight into our last match of the day here, starting all the way over towards North George and heading across towards Lipovka. So a little bit more of a northern focus flight path coming in here, but it's still going to be quite an advantageous start for a lot of the teams that like to frequent this more northern approach. It is going to be, however, a little bit more work for those teams to push all the way down to those southern starting positions. So curious to see what they're going to be, where exactly these teams are going to be dropping down, but also how much work will they have to do once we see where that first initial zone is going to be appearing.
Yeah, that's right. So the zone would probably be the decider to see exactly where they're going to jump and do the push. There's one team that doesn't have to be concerned. They're going to sit little comfy as 1 million at this stage of the game. But look, we have a northern cut nicely split on top of the north, but we know we're going to have that guys trying to push a little bit of a long game as the zone is about to come in.
Yeah, I mean, looking at what we had coming through on the overall standings, right, I do think, I'm 100% convinced that 1 million will not get dethroned, right, because making up 43 points in one match is not something we see happening all too often, right? It's not impossible, but it's not very likely, right? Just as we see this beautiful southern zone coming through as well. Again, something we don't see happening all too often. Both the bridges being in play here, so it is going to be a bit of excitement coming through,
yes.
at least for the teams, as they now have an opportunity to explore that southern region even more so. But I mean, I'm still expecting a bit of contention to come through, at least with regards to the team situated from 3rd place to 7th place. There's only 8 points. Well, 9 points separating 3rd place from 8th place, right? So we can still see a lot of movement coming through on with regards to that, but it's going to take a bit of work, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, now the teams are literally playing for how much cash they'll be picking up. As we know, the biggest difference in prize money being not only the difference between 1st and 2nd place, but also between 2nd place as well as that 6th position, right? Because there's still quite a lot of money at play here.
Oh yeah, that's right. Everyone is out for that change, and it's not little change that we're talking about. It's change that can actually make a difference in your day-to-day living. So the guys playing games at the end of the day, getting that finger power in, and getting some little bit of expenditure, and making it all well worth it. Let's see if they can get that done. But look, we're at the finals right now. And look at what the zone decides to do. It doesn't switch up on everyone. And this is exactly how we want a final to be. We want it to be interesting. And let's see what strategies the rest of the squads, as about 60%, maybe more, are sitting on the outside of the zone right now. What strategies would they actually bring at this point of the game for those that's trying to get into that 5th spot?
What Matrix is doing, run.
Run.
Right, that's pretty much the thing. Is going to be. I think especially for now, the teams could potentially be looking to prioritize themselves, getting set up in towards that next zone, and in a little bit more of a favorable position. A point that they are able to defend not only in this phase, but moving through into the coming phases as well, right? I do think that could be a good kind of strategy to try and apply here. You can see Falak also just being ready for the action, running with that pan, right? So whatever happens, if someone comes up and they are looking to push Falak is just going to go to town with a pan and, just cook up a storm for us right there.
Yeah, that's right. So trying to do a nice varnishing, sizzling ending using a pan. What an interesting end that would be to any player that meets Falak with a little bit of a pan. I wonder which one it is. I've seen my mom have many different pans before, but the one that we have in PUBG is all too special. How many eliminations have you met with a pan, DK?
I've eliminated many eggs, right? So I've stopped those chickens before they could become dinner, right? So I worked with a plan, but I want to see Falak fillet a steak with that pan, right? That's what I want to see come through. But of course, what we're also now seeing is that mass migration for several teams heading down on towards that more southern position. So a great push coming in there from BBC, Lag, the players from Darkness, RILA Insider. We've got Leaders Esports. We've got Art of Killing. We've got Greedy for Kills. We got the players from the Desert Flame, aka G3, all now positioned towards that more southern edge, right? We're still waiting to see where one round, Virtual Gaming, one more, the players there from Blackjack, Flame 4KT, Snipers, 1 million, and of course SKYROKETS are going to be bringing through once they start focusing on their rotations.
Yeah, that's right. So once they start focusing on the rotations, see if they can avoid a little battle to try and get over that bridge pass to move more into that Gatka central zone. But yeah, the team that I want to kind of just speak about for a second is the Desert Flame, or what we basically used to know them as G3. This is normally where they used to dominate in the zones in Erangel and take domination, but this is a competition like no other. I don't think they expected the contention and the difficulty that they faced until this point.
Yeah, I mean, there's been bucket loads of really challenging opportunities and situations being thrown at these teams. I gotta say, so far, to a very satisfactory extent, right? The team's really coping quite well with all the challenges they've been presented, and it doesn't seem like anyone has been really struggling too hard to keep up with everything that's happening, right? So yes, there is a bit of an adjustment that comes through, but the team seem to be relatively quick to adapt to those changes.
Yeah, I like that point of view that you brought across. So yes, it doesn't mean that they have to adapt. They evolve as the game goes along, which makes it beautiful and a nice, interesting finish. No matter which or what their placement is at the end of the day, they at least try and face the battle head on, trying to get more of an advantageous or advantage on the rest of the squads moving forward.
Yeah. And that's that means great things for the scene as a whole, because the teams are gaining more experience. They're definitely stepping up their kind of play styles. They're stepping up the level of complexity that they bring out to the battlefield. And that goes a long way, because that brings along with it a lot of growth to not only the teams we see participating here, but also those up-and-coming teams.
That's right. It's about that, right? It's about gaining the experience, especially within competition kind of regime, so that obviously gains that little bit of perspective so they can grow. Oh, I mean, the battle is going right now as Broly gets knocked by Matrix, and Matrix just get ended with a red ball right there, and Mike just gets sent back to the lobby sooner than he hoped for the INS squad. There we go, Phil, sending him back to the lobby, DK.
Yeah, that one was signed, sealed, delivered, and off they go. Maestro now, meanwhile, finding themselves in a little bit of a shuffle here, going toe-to-toe with Shadowin. As Shadowin finds the hit, but Buden comes raining down with a little bit of that aggression just to close it up. Unfortunately for Shadowin, they got a little bit bold there, and it didn't really pay off all too well for them. They weren't able to get that successful elimination, but now the rest of the squad are gonna come rolling up as well. And I mean, you definitely want to see a little bit more of a clumped approach, especially when you're going to be rushing onto another team. And the players here from Leaders Esports, they are no strangers to that approach. But we do see Pocus now just getting themselves situated on the edge, just looking to gather a little bit of information instead of just rushing blindly into these shots. And, of course, now spots out the opportunity on towards Buden.
Yeah, so Buden just caught off guard, nearly getting knocked there on the outside. But I was surprised to see Shadowin so far away from Pocus lost on the outside. But like I say, the approach is normally aggressive. They're not shy of any battles, but coming in at last and getting sent back to the lobby is Shadowin.
Yeah. Of course, we see another engagement starting to brew here. It is going to be Farouk now. Getting absolutely decimated as the shots come through there from the players of BBC. So some good teamwork coming in on that front. But now Tornado looking to come in with a bit of an approach up on the edge. Spots an opportunity on towards Sunny. We got Corona also now right there on the front line. But we have not seen Tornado really joining up with the rest of the crew yet. Or rather, that's Broly. We're still to see Broly actually join up with the rest of the team.
Yeah, so Broly, I don't know, the distance in Broly's approach, I'm not exactly sure. I don't want to analyze it. Maybe it's something discussed between the squad. But as you see, they're holding contention. We got BBC being crocodiles and snapping at any approach that they can, especially here at Darkness, trying to hold the fort on their rotation. Maybe they need to switch up a little bit of a rotation. Maybe Broly's going to be on the outside. Oh, and then he gets knocked. As I was hoping, he does a little bit of a rotation to distract them for the rest of the squad.
Yeah, BBC, the big black crocodiles, they're definitely looking to scale things up, right? As they dial in that aggression now. Of course, all the pressure now turns on towards Kronar here. Looking to see if they can find a quick trade. Does find a little bit of damage on towards Falak, but up comes a little bit of a surprise jump. As Kratos drives it in, and with that picks up a beautiful squad wipe. But as we can see, several more teams now starting to trickle up in towards the zone. They're getting a little bit fed up with sipping on blue, so instead they're looking to dial up the aggression and push further up in towards the zone. We do see a bit of that convergence now happening towards our bridges as well. We are going to be jumping over on towards that, as we can see Raouf now just patiently waiting to see what the players here from one round will be bringing on in. We can see Makari just there on the very edge, just off of the bridge. So it could be a little bit of a surprise attack on towards Raouf.
Yeah, you know what I'm greedy for, DK? I'm greedy for bridge battles. That's one of my favorite events within the competition, or any battle for that matter of fact. As we see G4K Raouf, one of the most dominant players in this competition so far, as we have Makari just going at the bottom edge of the bridge, trying to avoid a little battle with the rest of his team on the outskirts. But look at this position that G4K finds himself in, almost like a diamond formation. So no matter what team comes from any angle, they'll be able to close things off.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely going to shine from that position, right? You got to say that, but even so, it is going to be Makari now to sneak in and find that head on towards Raouf, and Raouf getting a bit of a oof right there as they get spotted out and almost traded on down. We did see Maestro also now flinging themselves either off of a height or out of a window somewhere. But it is going to be a little bit of a contentious play as Rauf now. We can see the darkness starting to creep on through. It is going to be a quick assist coming through there from Omar. Meanwhile, it's going to be Venom on the opposite end, looking to go toe-to-toe now with 1 million. So it's a lot of contention coming through as the teams are trying to get themselves better situated in towards that zone.
That's right. It's going to be difficult to get themselves situated. It's not going to be that easy. We have one round at the last point in the last game trying to get that battle on with 1 million as they try and shift. Getting yourself situated at this point in the game is important because of that zonal shift. I wonder if it's going to place north or a little bit more south in the military area. It's to be decided. But yeah, so it's going to make things nice and challenging for the rest of the squads that did decide to go more north within the blue zone.
Yep, it is going to be quite a bit of a challenge, right, as we now take a look and see what that map is going to be bringing through, where that zone will be shifting. We still see the snipers now all the way up north there, close to school, and that zone, switching over towards RILA inside. A BBC already being situated up in towards the zone. Of course, the players there from Leaders, aka UMBRA, right there on the very edge. But it's going to be 1 million now to come in with a few of those delayed hits all the way back up in towards Malta. So we do see those delayed rotations coming through, but up comes Slime for KT. Now rushing, trying to get themselves across this bridge. But the setup coming in here from one round, paying off absolutely phenomenally, as we can see those hits just getting dialed in one after the other. And it is going to be Slime now to meet their end as they have to back their bags. But look at the rotations heading over towards the west.
Yeah, that's right. Look on the western side. I don't know. Is this a social distance zone? Is it allergic? I've never seen such a shift before from the zone as Venom being dangerous, sending a sting off to Slime 4KT, sending them back home, and to obviously try and reconsider what they've just done there on that zonal shift. Going over the bridge. Not cautiously, I might say.
Yeah, yeah. But of course, another team that we're looking to see to pick up a winner chicken dinner is going to be Team Lag here, right? So they still have all their ducks, all their eggs in the basket. So now they just need to find that good play to work out in their favor. It is going to be Maestro also now to get blown to smithereens, as Buden is already huddled up in a little bit of a shack here. We can see Flacco off in the distance. Not quite sure where Flacco is going to be looking to go, but it's going to be a really risky rotation whichever way they look at it. Yeah. Meanwhile, Lag still now just looking to kind of solidify their position, moving on towards that western side of the island here. But still, several teams in contention, and it is going to be a little bit of a difficult play to get a good, nice position kind of locked in and solidified, as we can see the teams all now starting to kind of pull in, right? We got snipers eventually getting away from the blue zone, about to come flying in. We can see Flacco off in the distance there, taking a few hits as the shots continue to fly up. But it is going to be A9Q now to get traded down to their knees they are, and it is now up to the rest of the squad to see if they can make any potential plays from here.
Yeah, so the potential was there for Lag because they situated themselves nicely in the zone. And, you know, whichever way the zone's going to go, they got a good position. They can see teams coming in over the ridge line within the compound areas and take advantage of that. What they do not want to do right now is have one of their team members locked because it will put them on a back foot. Lag 1 right now, trying to keep that team at bay, seeing and marking them for the rest of the team members to make a decision and see if they're going to have to push or stay exactly where they are, or hold one more at bay.
Sherbo now getting traded up as well, as we see the players here from one round sending in one round after the other. Now taking a quick bit of a swing on towards Virgil. Picks up two in the rush. The blue zone coming through with a beautiful assist on that one. And Venom now going to be looking to get that final hit, but it is going to be Makari from the side to pick up that trade. Also now, the players there from 1 million right alongside one round. So the pressure is just now continuing to mount, as we can see even more players trying to dash into zone. Here's going to be Alpha Luigi to get traded down. Savage now quickly trying to mend that health bar before pushing up into the mess we have up ahead. Becca also coming through with the spray down on towards Makari. So hit after hit. Venom now also falling. And it all turns on to E-Flex now. But unfortunately, Becca gets traded as we got Carry Boy and Marshall coming in there from the edge. And those bolties really stinging all the way through.
Yeah, so Becca doing the switch on the rest of the squad on the bottom edge like there. could have bought them some time. Could have bought 1 million some time as Makari can get, or Reflex can get some heals on. Oh no. Savage being savage. Look at that, DK. So Savage being savage, getting some revenge on Becker and Sherbo, saying that this game is not over. We still here, skyrocketing and getting a little bit of a finish. What a beautiful approach done here by the Skyrocket squad.
I mean, that was just brutal, right? And then that is Savage staying true to their name, finding a really good play to make there. We've got the players here also then from Blackjack up on that more northern approach, coming in alongside BBC, as both these teams are looking to get themselves situated up in towards the zone, but they need to be careful. Potato now fishing for a few of those hit markers out into the smoke, as we can see, unfortunately for them, there's no one in that smoke whatsoever. Instead, BBC have repositioned themselves up in towards those compounds, but now you can see still snipers trying to make a bit of a play here. Up comes Potato, looking to push on in. Sunny and the rest of the Crocodiles lying in wait. Let's see, will they find the opportunity to strike down now?
That's the thing about a Crocodile. This is where they normally get the best approaches, lying and waiting. And as soon as the opportunity comes, as it rises, that's when they take their snap. As BBC is laying in the compound area, BJE not making it easy for them either, trying to go down, fighting exactly as MG goes into snake mode. Phonics is down in the open, Sunny is still out there as well, so the decision is up to MJ, trying to hold BBC at bay. Will it work? It's too soon to say, but as the action is Potato, trying not to be a vegetable at the end of the day, making sure he's safe.
Yeah, you know, nothing wrong with a little bit of carbs every now and again, right? And Potato now trying to bring it in by the bucket loads going up against BBC, but I'm liking this very cautious approach coming through from BBC, right? Just moving themselves out of harm's way, just looking to play those ridge lines, but of course also then we see Citizen X ready to dial it in as they step up alongside Pocus here, looking to see if they can pick up a few of those hits. It is going to be a little bit of dance to the finish here. Citizen X and Pocus back and forth. Oh, look at that. Pocus trying to shoot through the window, but it's not going to work as Blue Zone now catches up. Up comes Pocus with a rush. Citizen closes the door. Knock, knock. Up they come. Will the hits land? Yes, indeed. Citizen X gets the hit. No, Black lost. Still going to be holding that slightly high ground position just safely within zone.
That was amazing play here from Citizen X, signing his visa, getting just in time. Oh no! And then Blue Zone does the ending. What? The Blue Zone being terrible throughout this competition and getting a lot of eliminations as it goes, as the action is still happening. Triple from the BJE team, trying to get some HP over onto the BBC squad member. Just waiting for that peek as Kratos getting sent down. Hopefully his father Zeus can try and help him out. Well, I don't know if that's
oh, we don't know, but it is going to be Potato to get taken down. Phoenix going up in smoke as the hits now just roll in like thunder, one after the other. It is going to be Skull now also feeling the pressure, being dialed up here, just trying to find a good stand to make, but the players here from 1 million are not going to be letting any of that happen. As Overkill cooks up the nade, looks to send it across. We can see Marshall, Senke on the approach, looking to try and clear up these buildings, but let's see whether they'll be able to get it done.
We couldn't ask for anything more than what we're witnessing right now. The action coming down with 9 teams remaining at this point of the zone doing a switch up, but the guys bringing the action exactly the way we want our finals to be. Let's see. I can't even call this overkill. That's exactly the amount of kills I like to see.
Oh, I mean, it is absolute insanity now unfolding on the screen here. It's going to be Marshall still to cook up that nade. The players here from the Art of Killing now looking to kind of get themselves situated on towards the edge of zone. They're not secured within the phase itself just yet, but they are still just trying to tap away. So we can see them now just frantically scouring the area. Marshall, however, coming under fire as the hits connect and down they go. Sanhok now just out on the outskirts here, looking to see if they can maybe bring in a surprise element to this mix. Gary Boy on the front line looks to kind of drive it home. Oh, out they go, and it is carnage as 1 million step up, and with that, expel the players of one more.
Well, what more can you ask for? It's 1 million, 1 in a million kind of approach, and a beautiful spray coming into that compound. Not kidding. They don't care if they're sitting cozy. They're not going to go down lazy. It is our 1 million squad. As we see Skull laying down, Zilla coming in with a push a little bit too hard, and then gets knocked with the action, and they both get sent back as the squad from Desert Play. Sorry, that's Whitey. My bad. It's A-OK. They get sent back to the lobby.
Oh, but we still see the players there from Team Lag holding on to the zone, right? They are
Yeah.
still coming in with 4 players strong. But now, it is going to be a challenge to see whether or not they can actually push all the way to the very end and pick up that winner chicken. That I mean, already they are situated in 3rd place. So it will only make sense, looking at the numbers they still have left, for them to push in and drive it home as best they can. Of course, both 1 million and the players here from Greedy for Kills are down to their final 2 players. So that means 2 groups or 2 squads of duos rather, going up against the full squad of Lag.
That's right. I'm rooting for Lag right now. I want to see that first page getting filled with chicken dinners, man. Let's get that entree happening on page number 1 and see if they can hold that 3rd spot and try and get it done. But 1 million not making it easy. We have a full squad of Lag, and then we have our G4K squad and 1 million. So the competition is on. It's getting hot, and this is exactly what I wanted from a final.
Let's see now. I mean, we can see the players there from 1 million starting to move out a little bit more. Senge now getting spotted. The shots drived in. Oh, just narrowly escaping the majority of the carnage, but that vehicle starting to smoke up a little smidge. Let's see whether or not Weiss is going to try and close it up. Omar also coming in alongside them. Both players now turning their focus on towards the players there from 1 million. But this is a great opportunity now for Lag to try and capitalize on that point that both the 2 opposing teams are focusing on each other instead of on them.
That's right. So they have the opportunity to at least get the advantage of the zone and move a little bit more north, avoid that battle, let the 2 guys or 2 squads handle each other and see if they can get that chicken dinner. I think that would be the smart approach, and it will get them at least in that top 3 on the podium. Get that silver, baby.
Oh, let's see. Let's see. Up comes Omar looking to wrap around. It is going to be Weiss to get traded on down. So Omar, the final hopeful lift now for Greedy for Kills. But are they going to be greedy, or will they come in with a well-calculated approach? Omar now just trying to get out of harm's way. Takes several hits, ducks down, starts to do a few push-ups. But it's not the right place to do that. Yes, you need a rock. Ooh! But that nade from 1-9 just driving in so much damage.
Yeah, that's like sitting. Oh, that's it. That's it for Omar. Sent back to the lobby. It is Lag and 1 million. Head to head, DK.
Well, I mean, it is up to Carry Boy and Senke, right? The 2 players we can see on the screen right now to try and just find that more favorable position to play. But this is Lag's game to win. This is the match for them to pick up that winner chicken dinner. And this could just strengthen their position in that overall 3rd place, right? I don't really see them gaining 40 points because, yeah, it's not something we see happening all too often. But who knows, right? It could, like, surprises do still happen.
Yeah, miracles can happen any day. But what a beautiful and amazing time for them to choose and try and get that chicken dinner on the list for themselves at this point of the competition. At the last game, on the last map, facing the number 1 squad right now, 1 million with Senke and Carry Boy.
Well, I mean, this is a fight of those top 3 seats.
Yeah.
Up comes Scary Boy, tries to move in, he gets down, it now turns on to Senke. We can see Fantasy Kakel on the front line. Out comes Amali and off they go. It is winner chicken dinner for Team Lag. The entire first page now filled up with chickens galore. You get a chicken, you get a chicken. Everybody gets a chicken, and even Lag steps up to claim their own. And with that, what a beautiful finish. 16 eliminations. I mean, yes, okay, so that's a 31 bomb, right? That is pretty impressive to see. I mean, we've been waiting 5 days. 5 days to see Lag pick up such a glorious chicken, but I mean, it was well worth the wait.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. And like I said, what an amazing time to choose that final place. They got positioned nice and early within the game, and they got the chicken dinner, and they get the 31 bomb at the end of the day against 1 million, who sits now in 2nd place on the last game.
Wow, 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 wow. That was crazy to see. But of course, a very, very strong performance coming through there from 1 million. Still, just, showing us why they've been able to dominate the leaderboard, taking that second place with 6 eliminations. The players there from Greedy for Kills being a lot more reserved with regards to those eliminations, only finishing up with 1, though, with Weiss picking it up there, as we can see, of course. Then also the players from Art of Killing finishing up in 4th place on 3, and then the players there from Desert Flame, aka G3, coming in with their 4 eliminations over in towards that 5th position. We're going to be taking a little bit of a look further on down. We've got the players there from One More also coming in with 1 more elimination to their name. BBC coming in with a very impressive amount of 7, taking that 7th place as well. Then, of course, the team there from UMBRA, aka Leaders Esports, finishing up in towards 8th. We got RILA inside a 9th. The players from Blackjack up in towards 10th place, with Potato cooking it up with that 1 elimination. We got Snipers finishing on 3 eliminations in towards 11th. The SKYROCKETS in 12th place. Venom with a very surprising aggressive show, right? All the way into 13th place, though, but putting the team on a collective 8 eliminations. That is still pretty impressive to see.
Yeah, I was completely impressed with Venom, the aggressive approach. Unlucky getting taken out by Skyrocket Becker there in that little bit of a battle and spray coming off. But look, Venom really impressed. Getting the numbers on the team, getting 8 for the rest of the is it 1 round? Yeah.
Yeah.
1 round, yeah, almost because of Makari there. But yeah, what an impressive play. I just want to say to all of the players, that was really amazing, making at least the last game a brilliant and wonderful, amazing, spectacular final.
I mean, that was so, so satisfying to watch. And of course, our stars of the match will be none other than A9Q taking the final hit of the match, as well as the MVP. 527 damage, 6 eliminations. Absolutely great performance coming through there. And of course, the best companion going over towards Zaid coming through from the Snipers. So still a very, very impressive play, no matter how you look at this. So I definitely got to say, these teams bringing in some pretty hot and crazy PUBG Mobile action. I mean, loving the way that they've been dialing it up, right? The pacing just being absolutely on point, in my opinion there, right? Today, day 1 started off, it was okay. It was nothing bad at all. But as we moved into the second day, it got even better. Third day, better. Fourth day, even more so. And then today, we step up and these teams, they just blow it out of the water. I mean, that was so satisfying to witness. And these teams really bringing in, such a strong performance. And this is what we want to see come through from the African region. And the teams, I feel they're really being representative of the potential within the Africa region.
That's right. So taking it over, showing the rest of the world what Africa has to offer right now. And look, you said it beautifully. It was a nice stage of aggression. Day 1, 2, and 3 was good. And everything just started firing up from there. Because in 1, 2, and 3, we saw our regular squads taking it and dominating right through. And then we had our Central coming in there and just showing us exactly what they are made of. And that made all the difference. But yeah. What a beautiful way and a spectacular way to at least introduce us to a final. And this is what Africa is all about.
Yeah, very, very exciting stuff. And of course, if I have to pick a highlight, I would say day 5, right? That's it, right? The entire day's matches were just so, so great to see. The teams really playing phenomenal games. But of course, we know these teams are fighting for their share of that prize money, right? We know this is what's up for grabs. This is what's at stake, aside from the honor and the glory of being the team to win the first International Africa Gaming Cup. So, I mean, still, right? The teams contending or contesting for the prize money, looking to see how much they can lock in. And, well, as we saw, the performances coming through from the players there of 1 million. They've already pretty much solidified themselves up into pole position, right? So I honestly do not think that they are going to get dethroned, right? But I mean, this was our point situation before we stepped into Erangel, right? We had the players there from 1 million sitting on 255 total points, 4 chicken dinners. Lag was the only one missing a chicken. They got it. They picked it up. They satisfied our OCD as well.
Oh yeah, we've been asking for it, and thank you, Lag, for bringing it. That's exactly why you lag. A little delayed, but bringing in that third place action and introducing our chicken dinner, making our first page look nice and full on our entree.
Yeah, I mean, it's better late than never, right? So, I mean, definitely we were experiencing a little bit of lag alongside with them there. But gotta say, looking at the numbers we see in here, some very impressive numbers coming through. And I mean, the aggression on this first page is just absolutely insane. I mean, even Greedy for Kills, they took that 8th place,
Yeah,
but still, 83 eliminations. I mean, that is more than the other teams, the
it
other
is the
5 teams above them, right? That's more than Leaders. That's more than One More. That's more than Skyrocket, Slime, or Lag.
yeah.
But it's just now they have not yet been able to get enough of a consistency dialed into with their finishes
There we
coming
go.
into those late phases and surviving to the very end.
There we go. And as you know, DK, consistency is normally what is key to get and hold into the spots. Like the rest of the teams have showed that's sitting in the podium position 1, 2, 3, 4. You can see this and even 5. There's
Yeah.
consistency going in there with the approaches. Yes, they have less eliminations to their name, right? But if you look at the difference, you see chicken dinners in there. You see a lot of placement positioning, and that's exactly what makes the difference when it
Mm.
comes to the stage of the game. But look, this is still the first page, right? This is still the
Mm.
old log. So things
Oh,
can
yes.
change as it comes in. Remember, they got 14 eliminations. G4K, for example, Greedy for Kills. They got 14 eliminations in the previous, but look at the drop. They got third place in the
Mm.
game number 4, but only 1 elimination.
Yeah. I mean, but like, so I want to point out the consistency being brought in there by one round, right? The former
Ah,
1 million. Okay.
okay.
That rate is absolutely great to see. 103,
Mhm.
105,
Yeah,
right? So it means that they were so consistent with being able to balance the amount of eliminations they were able to
for
find
sure.
to the amount of those placement points they were able to get in. I mean, we're not going to talk about the 1 million, right? The former Cryptics,
Yeah, yeah.
because they are just cracked when it comes to placement, right? Look at that. It's like it's insane. It's absolutely crazy figures coming through there. But well done. You got to commend them on their absolutely insane efforts that they've brought to this competition. And of course, taking a look at our second page, right? It's still very contentious, right? We
Yeah,
got the
yeah.
players there from Virtual Gaming taking that 9th position. Well, that was before we came into this last match. Please, everyone, remember that. It says at the top, post game 3, right? This is not the updated
Yeah, yeah.
scores. Um, but as we can see there, also 70 to 78, pretty good plays. I mean, then we move on towards the RILA Insiders and the players there from BBC. We
Mm,
can see still good efforts being brought in with regards to aggression, but they've been way more successful in finding good placement.
placement. That's right. That's right. So bringing up the placement does exactly it does make a difference. So yeah, consistency being the word of the day, and you see a meteoric rise and difference between anywhere down from 12th place. Look at the difference. You have Art of Killing sitting there on 38 eliminations, with guys like Virtual Gaming sitting in ninth spot with 70.
Mm.
Right? So look at that difference. And the chicken dinners obviously makes it contentious for anyone sitting on this half of the page or on the log.
Yeah, but what makes me so excited is the amount of growth that we've been seeing in such a short time
Mm.
coming through from the region, right? And we've seen a lot of people come in on other events and we're like, oh, yeah, but, you know, look at these guys, look at these guys. I mean, and a lot of times I just want to say to them, it's like, this is only the first season that we've
Yeah.
had, right? This is the first opportunity these teams have actually had to get a taste of the action. But how quickly they've been able to react to that, to react to the expectations coming through, to still bring in what they need to deliver. I mean, come on, these teams are stepping up and they are really
Oh yeah.
showing their worth to the entire continent. And I mean, it's been so great to see this, because also take into consideration, right? We started off with our regional playouts or
Mm.
playoffs, the qualifiers on that front. Then we had the finals, and it all trickled down into the continental finals itself. So this means that we are having the best teams in the Africa region stepping
Yeah.
onto the battlefield here, all right? So it's what, well, I mean, some people will probably argue with that point. You're more than welcome to do that. It is just my opinion.
Fine.
But you know, like still, I gotta commend these teams. Really, really impressive stuff that they've brought out onto the battlefield. But well, now we're just waiting for those updated results to come through. So the moment they drop, we'll see them appearing on the screen, all by magic. But
Roll,
yeah.
baby. Okay, so I'm guessing that you're still trying to bring up the log, but as that is happening, I have to second you on this whole point that you're bringing across, that the teams have evolved and adapted. Adapting being one of the secret things next to consistency, right? So
Mm.
adapting to the games that is coming in through the regional and now into the entire continent, right? Facing one of the best teams that you can see, each one respectively in their own way.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy to see because I mean we're comparing this to what we saw in the previous season of the PMPL Africa coming through,
Mm,
you know, previous other big events that we've seen happening in the region, and just based on the growth that we've been seeing from that, I mean, this is not uh you know a long event like we would have, for instance, in PMPL,
yeah,
but just
yeah.
in the short span of time, how these teams have improved. It's gonna be crazy to see in like 2, 3, 4 months from now,
Oh
or
wow.
even by the end of the year, where the whole region would have then come to as a collective.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. But as you said it is season one. If this is what season one has to offer, as you say, I can't wait to see 3 months down the line, should the competition rise back up in the continental stages or regional stages. I can't wait to see the improvement and adaptability, the meteoric rises that they can bring and action as they start practicing with over this months to come.
Oh yes. Well, yeah. I mean, it's crazy just to think of, you know, where we were just a little while ago. But now it is going to be still a little bit of a wait for those results. So while we wait for those results to come in, we are going to be heading into a very very quick break. I see Jake asking in the chat, where's Cryptics?
Oh,
Jake.
okay.
So for those who don't know, we'll show you again. The Cryptics have changed their name to 1 million.
Yeah, yeah.
1 million changed their name to 1 round. The players from UMBRA changed their name to Leaders Esports. We know that Greedy for Kills was also coming in with a different name not
Mm,
too long ago. Aside from those changes, we also then had the players there from um, YT, Young Thunder, changed the name to Art of Killing.
yeah.
We also then saw the players from G3 change the name from G3 to Desert Flame. So there's been a lot of changes happening here. So we try to keep everything as up to date as we can manage to keep it.
Yeah.
But for now, that's kind of the situation that we've got. So if you're seeing names in different places, well, you're welcome. There's your update. But we are going to be hopping into a very quick break. So don't go anywhere. The results should be out anytime soon now. I just don't want to blabber on too long about, you know, nonsensical stuff even anymore because it feels like we're starting to run out of things. So, to save all of us, you know, we're going to be taking a very quick break and we'll be coming back once we have the results confirmed and locked in. So, stay tuned.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, guys, we got the results ready, and we're going to be showing you those results right now. So without any further delay, here we go, moving into the second page. Of course, we're starting right at the low end of it. You can see the players there from Blackjack holding on to 16th place. G3 Temper above them. Then, of course, we got the Darkness. We got the Snipers. We got Art of Killing, BBC. The players there from RILA, Insider, as well as Virtual Gaming. All these teams now finishing up in those positions there with the top 3 teams on the second page, each coming in with their respective winner chicken dinners.
Yeah.
Now, before we drop onto the first page, just looking to see if we're going to get everything we need to announce the winners, or whether or not we're going to just announce them straight up. But, well, it does seem... I'm not quite sure what's happening. Let's find out. But, I mean, Dale, explain to us quickly while we wait. Well, I'll get the confirmations. Explain to us all the beautiful stuff we're looking at on the second page.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, if you missed anything, don't worry, I got you covered. So we see that Blackjack Esport, G3 Temper, and Darkness sitting at the lower end of the log right now, sitting in 14th, 15th, and 16th. As you can see, there wasn't much of a difference between Darkness, Snipers, all the way up to Crocodiles. But you see, so placement is important. Getting your eliminations just as important, but it's consistency making the difference between most of the squad sitting from 12 all the way down to 16. If we take a look, it's been beautiful to see that we have chicken dinners running all the way from top position down to number 11. Everyone deservedly getting chicken dinners. But now we're having a look at the BBC squad, Big Black Crocodiles, getting 53 eliminations to their name, sitting in 11th spot, sitting with a total point amount of 121 with placements of 68. That's the consistency we're talking about. As we're jumping over to the 10th spot, it makes a little bit of a difference when it comes to the amount and earnings. We have RILA Insider coming in from our hometown right here, with 45 eliminations to their name, 78 matching the placements with Virtual Gaming, but with the difference being the total amount that they have. But they also got that chicken dinner, just as a reminder. But look, they're in 9th spot, Virtual Gaming, earning their way in on the top of page number 2, sitting with 70 eliminations, placement at 78 with a total amount of 148. And this is the action that they brought right through into the game from the what do you call it? The regional competition.
Yeah.
And then you also got your continental. So this is exactly what we're looking at. We're looking at adaptability, consistency, and then your placement. So this is what we're looking at here on page number 2. But yeah.
Yep. And now, now it's time for that first page, right? So without any further delay, here we go, hopping onto the first page. There's going to be 1 million, 1 round, and Lag to take our top 3 positions there with Lag. Picking up that very final winner chicken dinner, of course. A very, very fantastic and satisfying performance coming in from these teams across the board. The players there from Greedy for Kills coming in with a really amazing consistency based on their performances. We can see the 84, 86 looking absolutely fantastic. But as we can see, right, as you said, it is a beautiful lineup all the way from first towards 11th place with winner chicken dinners across the board. Absolutely great to see that coming through from all these teams. And, I mean, again, so satisfying to have.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Satisfying being the word of choice right now. I am so satisfied. We have 1 million. What an amazing gameplay, getting into pole position and getting that winner chicken dinner and the grand prize at the end. We have 1 round sitting in 2nd place. Well earned as well. And then the surprise catch, better late than never, is Lag sitting in 3rd place. But amazing from every one of the teams and the players out there that showed everyone in the world what Africa has to offer.
Yep, absolutely crazy stuff. But of course, there we have it. It is the end of the International Africa Gaming Cup, the first season done and dusted. Our winners stepping up absolutely gloriously to that crazy amount of money they'll be earning for those pole position finishes. But of course, you got to commend all the teams for their performances. Really great showings that they've brought onto the battlefield. And with that, of course, I want to give a big thank you going out to you, Dale, and Mr. Vector in the background there. I know he's not feeling too well, but, you know, big thank you going out to both of you. And of course, we want to thank all our viewers, our teams. You guys have been absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for the support coming out for these teams and showing us just how much love we can show for them. them. Of course, big shout out going out to both the organizers there for the AIGC. So there's going to be Nice Cactus and the Republic of Benin for bringing in a really great play. And again, also to all the teams that have participated in all our different regional plays, you guys are also legends, because without you, you wouldn't have been able to kind of whittle it down to these final few teams to see who will be those teams to walk away with the crazy slots that they've been able to lock in. So on that note, we are going to have to love and leave you guys. Hope you have an absolutely phenomenal time. And we look forward to seeing you guys back in the future for even more PUBG and esports craziness right here on the channel.